The following is a presentation of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
Well, it may be below zero across Michigan and Ontario, but the Red Hot Spirit are coming into the slush puppy place, looking to build on momentum that they've had throughout one of their longest road trips of the season. Hello, everyone. I'm Maren Klein. Welcome into the Stormmaster Exteriors studio. I'll be here with you pregame. Dylan Clark is standing by in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, and a lot of action to be had on the ice tonight. But before we get you to that, we're going to take you back to last night. 4-1 win for the Spirit over the Peterborough Petes, their second straight win in their last two games. They have scored 10 goals and only allowed 2. The offense has been elite for Saginaw. But speaking of elite for Saginaw, last night, Stepan Shurgin, back-to-back career performances in these two wins, and he had to come up big early as the Spirit took 4 penalties in the first period against the Petes. They had a lot of time on the penalty kill. Shurgin coming up big, the penalty kill coming up big. And in the final 2 minutes of the period, that fourth penalty was called on Graydon Jones for high sticking. The Petes looking to be the first to light the lamp as they had a lot of time on that man advantage, but on a shorthanded breakaway, Dima Zhilkin would connect with Nikita Klepov, bringing the puck through the zone, and he'd send it past Easton Rye to get the Spirit on the board first at the end of the period.
Puck on the stick of Dima Zhilkin. Now a short-handed chance. He's up ice 2-on-2 with Klepov. Cutting to the middle. Here comes Klepov. Takes the shot. He scores! It's a short-handed goal for Nikita Klepov. He snaps it over the glove of Easton Rye, and the Spirit strike first.
Now, the story was a bit of the same in the second. A lot of time on the penalty kill for the Saginaw Spirit. The penalty kill coming up big, but even bigger, Stepan Shurgin making multiple saves to keep the Petes off the board.
But this one off the boards. Walton into the offensive zone for Peterborough. Curl and drag around Glavin. Backhand shot. Great save by Shurgin. Walton gets it back in front. Oh, the glove save! Shurgin absolutely robs Kolarek.
Now, halfway through the second period, the Spirit would get their own chance on the man advantage, and they would quickly make use of it. A great passing sequence set up between the Spirit power play unit allowed Klepov to find Cloutier in the slot, burying the one-timer past Easton Rye into the back of the net to give the Spirit a 2-0 lead.
Klepov has it. Center point now, Barabanov. Near side, Klepov goes into the middle. They shot, they score! Jacob Cloutier right between the dots. McCallum takes the hit from Zhilkin afterwards. 9:34 to go in the second period. Saginaw makes it 2-0.
Now, later in the second period, Francis Parrish and Blake Barnes both took offsetting roughing penalties, bringing it to some 4-on-4 action. The Spirit getting a bit of momentum, had a face-off in the offensive zone, and Barabanov found Levi Harper, who sent a quick pass over to James Go in the high slot to give the Spirit some insurance with a 3-0 lead.
Tied up with Barabanov, kicks it back, moves there to Harper. Then the right point, James Go waits and shoots. He scores! James Go in his final game in Peterborough gives Saginaw the 3-0 lead.
Now, to start the third period, Levi Harper would be called for tripping. That would be the Spirit's 8th penalty of the night, giving the Petes yet another chance to capitalize, and this time on a second chance opportunity, Adam Levac poked the puck past Shurgin just 20 seconds into the man advantage to put the Petes on the board. In the final 3 minutes of the game, Easton Rye was pulled from the net, the extra skater on for Peterborough, but Shurgin absolutely shutting them down, not letting any pucks past.
Off the boards, Walton again. Inside 2 minutes left in regulation. Puck back in front, Levac the shot, and Shurgin pushes out to the edge of the goal crease to make the save and hang on yet again.
In the final 90 seconds, Klepov would get the empty netter to secure the Spirit victory, and Stepan Shurgin earning that first star of the night for his outstanding performance, shattering the career-high saves he set in Erie just the last game. The Spirits played 41 saves against Erie, 48 saves, finishing out that game in Peterborough. Now, looking at the opponent for tonight, the Kingston Frontenacs. The Frontenacs are looking to win after falling 5 to the Brantford Bulldogs last weekend. Jack Dever and Camden McQuaid had goals just 4 minutes apart in the second period that tied the game at 2-2, but 3 unanswered goals from the Bulldogs handed Kingston the loss. However, the last time they saw the Spirit, they had a 6-1 win on January 8th, just after the trade deadline. A Spirit team with a few new faces, a few guys missing from that lineup, and Kingston handing them that loss. That's going to be in the back of both teams' minds as they step on to the ice tonight. But both teams playing a bit differently, especially the Spirit, who have really found a groove as of late. And looking at players to watch, the big name of the game last night was Shurgan, but 3 players for the Spirit extended scoring streaks: Nikita Klepov, Dima Zhilkin, and Jacob Cloutier. Cloutier is tied for his longest career point streak, 7 straight games with at least 1 point, his longest coming last season from January 10th to 30th. Around this time last year, he had 11 points in 7 games. He's looking to have his longest career point streak tonight. 1 point tonight would do that for Cloutier. Last night, Zhilkin also extended a scoring streak to 7 straight games, and he surpassed his career high set in his rookie season, 43 points last season. Now 44 points in just 35 games for Zhilkin. And lastly, Klepov, he's not only scored in 5 straight games, but he has had 4 straight multi-point games. He's looking to become the second OHL skater to hit 60 points. Now flipping it to the other side for Kingston, Alex McLean joining the team on December 19th after being traded over from Guelph. He has had 8 points in just 9 games and is leading Kingston with 29 total points on the season, surpassing the 23 points he scored in his rookie season. Now, McLean's no stranger to the Spirit this season. He's already seen them 4 times, split between Guelph and Kingston, tallying a total 7 points, 2 goals, and 5 assists. But the Spirit looking to move up in the conference, looking to continue on a win streak. With the win last night, the Spirit sit at 41 points on the season, passing the Owen Sound and Guelph to go from 9th to 6th, but they're only leading by 1 point, so every point matters as we inch into February. Continuing on this road trip, Papineau getting the start, and when we come back, Coach Lazary discusses the unique impacts each line and pairing has for the Saginaw team, and also a rookie milestone we could be seeing. We'll hear from him and Dylan when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner with the Spirit in Kingston on this Friday night, joined again by Spirit head coach Chris Lazary and coach 4-1 in Peterborough last night. If you can boil it down to one thing, what was the biggest cause for success in last night's game?
Well, I would say they are Russian descent. Like, our goalie was Shrigi was unbelievable, and I thought Kleppy, maybe one of the better games I've ever seen him play, obviously playing inspired hockey. And then Barry was good, and Jill and the rest of the guys, overall as a team, we were good. But I thought those 2 guys in particular, 98 and 63, really strong performances. But I look at a guy like Harms, some of the stuff he did to win pucks and battles and digging on draws. Our penalty kill is phenomenal. There's a lot of factors into it. It's a good Peterborough team. I think they looked at us as being a young team, going to be one of those nights for them, and we came ready to play, and I thought we did a good job.
You talked about Stepan Shurgan. You've seen a lot of really talented goaltenders in your time here. Tristan Lennox, Ivan Prosvetov. Where does Stepan rank right now, as you've gotten to see almost a full season of him among some of the other goaltenders you've gotten to work with and coach?
Yeah, among some of the best that we've had here. It reminds me a lot of Ivan's path, not because they're both Russian, but like Ivan came in, took him like 2 months, to find his way in North America in our league and everything else. And like his name was Shrugi. Like you look at him at the start of the year, there's probably people saying like, is this guy a good goalie? Like we knew he was going to take 4 to 6 weeks to adjust, but when he did, he was going to be lights out. And I don't think right now for my money, like there's a better goalie in the league. He's 6 foot, whatever. Like he's huge. We were talking about on the bench last night, Barbs and I, like, he made a huge save. He's like, man, he's so good when he's on. And I said, yeah, he's going to be like a, second, third, fourth round NHL pick. And then he stood up. And I'm like, look at his hips. They're at the crossbar. Like he's huge and he's athletic and he's raw. He's a talent for sure. And it's been a huge reason why we are having success as of late.
Levi Harper right now, 36 points. He's sitting one away from tying Zane Parek's output in his rookie season, which would be the record for this franchise. 8 years older than Zane was. But, how could you kind of put into perspective what Levi's done and what's led to so much success this year?
Well, he's 8 years older. That puts him, 25, 8 months.
Sorry.
No, 8 months older. It's, I didn't know that. To be like, I always laugh at like Drinks tells me stats. I don't even know sometimes who's leading our league and our team in points. And plus, I just evaluate the game and how they play in the game. I don't care if they score. To me, that's an output or a function of how you play. I mean, Kleppy's goal last night, it's just pure skill. But a lot of the other stuff is like if guys are doing their thing, it's an output of how we're trying to play. So I don't know stats and records and numbers, but that's impressive. Like, yeah, he's older than Z, but I mean, we've taken him off the power play and not a knock on him, just the way those 3 guys on the outside, like Gilkey, Barry, and Kleppy, like they're just elite. It's like they have the same brain. And so he's gone off the power play, but he's still getting points. And he'll be back up and down on unit 1, but he's going to lead our franchise in the power play as we move forward here this year next. But for him to keep getting points, he's competitive. The thing I like the most is how he's defending now. Like his gap routes, his compete in the corners, how fast he is to close on pucks. Like those are the things that are going to allow him to be a pro. And then his talent with the puck and his offensive side is just another layer to his game that's going to intrigue teams. But it's the defending and the compete. And like he's a leader too. He's such a good kid. We're blessed to have him. I hope he's 1 point away. Like I hope he gets that tonight. It'd be a nice thing in the room for us.
You've kept things pretty much the same as far as lines D pairs go, with obvious exceptions. But is that important when you've got a group that's younger to maybe give them a little bit more consistent line mates and kind of teammates they're playing with more often than not, or does that not make as much of a difference?
No, like we've bounced around all year on combos. I like 73 and 4 gives us like an offensive unit. 5 and 17 give us what we think could be one of the better shutdown units for the rest of this year / in the next year. And then you look at 9 and 72, like they're a second unit on most teams. They can defend. They're kind of those 200 foot. They defend and make plays. And then Roscoe's starting out his career. He's 6'7". Like every game getting a little bit better. Going to be a huge player for us and over his course of the time here. So I just feel like the pairs have settled in. Roscoe can jump on any unit. He's got an older guy to kind of support him. And then our lines, like our top 6, it's taken us a while to get there, right? We've moved guys around all year. The first line is probably the best in the CHL. The second line is electric. And then the third line, like the kids with Stewie, they settle them out. Like it's just a nice balance. And the fourth line guys, harder to get them in sometimes because the guys ahead of them, but they're watching those guys play. And then when they get shifts, I thought they were effective last night. So just a good mix of where we're at right now. We'll see if things change in the future, but for now, like don't fix what's not broken.
And lastly, last time you met Kingston, 6-1 game back at the Dow Event Center. Where did things kind of go off the tracks there? And how do you look at that and avoid it here in this game?
Yeah, I think it was one of our first games post-trade deadline. Yeah, so like that to me is first game when you move players out of your team. Like you look at when we added players in Memorial Cup here, we look like the best team to play the game. We went into Windsor and we rocked them, and then we lost our next one. If you lose players out of your room and you don't bring much back in terms of like bodies or you've sold guys or whatever, like that first game is always a dip. And I feel like that Kingston game, yeah, they whacked us, but it wasn't indicative of where we were at as a group. So I'm really curious to see, because I think they're well coached, maybe one of the better coached teams in the league, like structure. They play hard, they play the right way. I'm really curious to see how we fare here tonight against a team like that. And now we got Paps in that. Like we'll see if he can make some of the saves that Trugi's been making to keep us in games.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lazary, Saginaw in Kingston tonight. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Kluchek scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Here from Slush Puppy Place in Kingston, Ontario. This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Carleton. Dylan Clark alongside you for the second step of this road trip here throughout the Eastern Conference for the Saginaw Spirit. They picked up the victory last night in Peterborough, 4-1, and the opponent does not get much easier tonight. The Kingston Frontenacs go their record 19-21-2-2. Not going to blow anybody away. 7th place in the Eastern Conference. They've won 6 consecutive hockey games here on home ice. 12-6-2-1 from Slush Puppy Place. So an uphill battle for the Spirit to start. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. Gavin Betts will make his 25th appearance. He stopped 23 out of 24 against Saginaw in a 6-1 win at the Dow Event Center earlier this season. For Saginaw, Caleb Papineau gets his first start since January the 9th. 33 saves on 37 shots and a loss to the Flint Firebirds. His 10th appearance this year. Your officials tonight brought to you by WNEM TV5. Ryan Harrison and Ian Rush, the referees. Justin Noble and Devin Driscoll are the linesmen. Carson Harmer to go for it against Kieran Dervin. And our Delta College opening faceoff has us underway. Andre Mondu will take over here for the Kingston Frontenacs and control off the opening draw. Kingston in their home black jerseys with the gold and white throughout. Saginaw, the traveling white uniforms. As this is fired back in behind Caleb Papineau for an icing. Just 17 seconds gone in this first period. So one team is going to get the change there. Saginaw Valley State University starting lineup. It is Saginaw. They went with Brody Papoy, Carson Harmer, and Jacob Kluche, Josh Glavin, and Xander Valeris on the back end to start things out. Kingston guilty of icing. We'll have to leave out Alex McLean, Kieran Dervin, and Jack Dever at forwards. Their forward group, Andre Mondu and Lucas Moore. On the back end, they'll win a defensive zone faceoff and lay this puck back up to neutral ice, where it's intercepted by Nikita Klepov, fresh off of a multi-point affair. 2 goals and an assist last night for Saginaw in Peterborough. Igor Barabanov had 3 helpers. He helps this puck up the far side wall for Klepov, then on and off the stick of Dimas Yilkin. Lucas Moore chases in after it behind the net of Betts in the Kingston zone. Puck rin back around. Barabanov catches up to it on the left wing half boards. Thrown back underneath. Klepov has to chase after it here. He's got Van Williamson, or Andre Mondu rather, here for Kingston all over him. Kieran Dervin, third-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks, will swipe this puck back out the center. Now Dever down the right side. Former Ottawa 67. Drops this one up on the right wing boards for Alex McLean. Tomas Pobejal to carry things and chase down in behind the Spirit goal line. Igor Barabanov the steal again. Pass looking for Klepov. Misfires. Goes down now for an icing against the Saginaw Spirit. 18:40 left. No score here in the first period. Saginaw, the 4-1 win over Peterborough gives them back-to-back victories. And Stepan Shurigan, you heard his head coach, Chris Lazary, singing his praises during Coach's Corner after establishing a new career best, 41 saves last weekend against the Erie Otters. He establishes yet another career best, 48 stops last night on 49 shots against the Peterborough Petes. And Saginaw looks to make it 3 straight wins for just the third time this year as they work this one out of the defensive zone. Deflected off the stick of Pobejal. Van Williamson keeps that puck alive and snaps a long shot wide on the glove side of Papineau. After this puck, Landon Wright. Back in behind the Spirit net, James Go. Goals in back-to-back games, including one last night against his former Petes. Wright intercepts this puck at center now for Pobejal, and the Frontenacs into the offensive zone. No more puck for them, though, thanks to the stick of James Go. Caleb Papineau, the Spirit netminder, slides that puck over to Graydon Jones. Glove down at center ice by Matthew Henderson of Kingston. Alex Misiak backhands this in. Graydon Jones around the horn. Jacob Klute on in here for the Saginaw Spirit. On a bit of a goal-scoring streak as well. Goals in each of his last 3 contests. As Klute has this puck up to center red and fires it back in behind the net of Kingston's Gavin Betts. The goaltender out of his net to play it, though. Turned it over right to Carson Harmer along the boards. Pass held at the left point by Jones. Over to Drew Roscoe. Rimmed back in beneath the Kingston goal line. Little jam up there. Alex Kuhlman had the stick of Saginaw's Klute in the way, and a big-time hit. Brody Papoy tried to step up on Andre Mondu. Papoy got the worst of it. Now Carson Harmer trying to pull this puck away at neutral ice. Graydon Jones slides it to his partner, Drew Roscoe. Bouncing puck too far for Bodie Stewart, though he does slide down the right side and gets around Mondu. No more puck, though, as Alex Kuhlman is on things here for the Frontenacs. Josh Glavin tries to seal up the near side of the boards, but the Frontenacs get into the Spirit zone down the right wing. It's Kuhlman. Jensen Geldart over to him. Loose puck spills out. Drew Roscoe on it for Saginaw. The outlet pass too far for Bodie Stewart. It goes all the way down. And we'll record an icing here. 16:54 left in this first period. No score. Big time collision. Brody Papoy got knocked into there by Andre Mondu. We'll get a same group here on this face-off for the Spirit. The third line is on after the icing. 11 forwards and 7 defensemen again. The only lineup change from last night to tonight for Saginaw. Brody Najim is out. Took a bit of a slash on the foot last night. Uri Rauja draws in. Drew Roscoe, the 7th defenseman again. Liam Storch is out with an upper body injury as this puck is fired up into the netting, deflected after a shot off the face-off. And we'll drop things in the Spirit end again, though this will allow a line change here. And Xander Valeris comes on for Roscoe. He and Josh Glavin, the shutdown pair for Chris Lazary. Valeris, third-round pick of the Frontenacs back in 2023. Played just 32 games here with Kingston before coming over at the deadline last year. The deal that saw Ethan Hay, Joey Willis, Will Bishop all come over to Kingston. Ryan Hanrahan gets this back out to center now for the Spirit. This is Bodie Stewart down the left wing. Into the offensive zone, turn to the near side glass by Van Williamson. Ryan Hanrahan rims this puck around to the far side. Stopped up at the right point. Xander Valeris backhands it in deep again. Jensen Geldart with some help from Hanrahan. Back up high. Valeris handles it on his backhand to try and put things down the boards again. Matthew Frost will skate it out to center here for the Frontenacs. Right back onto the stick of Valeris now in the Spirit end. Josh Glavin has to make a quick pass here. Moore there to intercept for the Frontenacs. He pushes things back into Spirit real estate. The laid-off side against Kingston. Headman pass. They're going to find Dimas Yilkin into the right wing circle. Takes his shot, and that one off the stick of Gavin Betts. First shot of the game here for the Spirit. Good save by the Kingston netminder. As Yilkin is back in behind the goal now. Around for Barabanov. Head fake at the top of the zone. Walks into the left wing circle. Shot gets deflected and ends up back behind the net. Takes down by Kingston's Andre Mondu. Reeled back in here by Jack Dever. Fired back up from the Kingston blue line. Deflected off the stick of Kieran Dervin. Sets up back in behind the Saginaw goal now where he's pressured by Levi Harper. Pass is intercepted. Barabanov there for Klepov. Back up ice with Zhilkin down the left wing and over the offensive blue line. Zhilkin cutting to the middle. Has a lane into the right circle. Zhilkin cuts back. Can't get the shot off. Had a great opportunity there that Van Williamson knocked aside. James Go. Pass to the right circle. Barabanov near side. Here's Harper. Takes the shot. That one blocked by Williamson. Zhilkin back up to James Go. Dima Zhilkin again. Just inside the line. Curls around. About 5 minutes gone here in the first period. No score. This is Barabanov. Works his way into the circle. Back in front. James Go was handcuffed by Jack Dever. And this is back out at neutral ice. Zhilkin. The quick restart for James Go at center ice. Then for Klepov. Left in for Igor Barabanov. And a centering feed does not get to anybody in a white sweater. The goaltender is there to cover it up. 14:49 left in the first period. Some good looks in the offensive zone by Saginaw's top line. Another multi-point night. Dima Zhilkin, Igor Barabanov, and Nikita Klepov last night again. Big catalysts to a two-point party for the Saginaw Spirit. Levi Harper had a couple of chances. He recorded an assist in that game. And Harper, 1 point shy of tying Zane Parek for the rookie defenseman scoring record here in Saginaw. We've got a stoppage in play here right off the draw. An interference call is upcoming to the Saginaw Spirit. As Braden Jones touched the puck up, Uri Rauja is going to take a seat here. 14:44 left in this first period. And Marin touched on it during the pregame show. Saginaw ran into some penalty trouble last night against the Peterborough Petes. They killed off 7 Petes power plays, but they were shorthanded 8 times. They found a power play goal against it. It was the only one in that game. Shorthanded 4 times in the first period. This is their first Stormaster Exteriors penalty kill tonight. Frontenacs, Kieran Dervin sets up in the left wing circle. Kingston power play, though, has had its struggles this year, 12.4%. Last in the league is Mishiak. Throws this back up top. Williamson back to Alex Mishiak. Near side now. This is McLean. Takes a shot into traffic. Blocked by Kluche. McLean taps the loose change back to Williamson. Tomasz Pobejal at the top of the right circle. Throws a puck down low. Looking right in front. They score. Or do they? Mishiak threw it in front. The Frontenacs began to celebrate. Kieran Dervin had his hands in the air. It's in the pads of Papineau. 14:11 left in this first period. Caleb Papineau's just not so fast, guys. The spotlight came on. Great centering pass. Papineau's got his hands in the air, too. He says, hey, I got it. It was right under his right skate. 1:28 left on the penalty to Uri Rauja for interference. And the Frontenacs win another offensive zone faceoff. Williamson shot, knocked down in front there. Could be turned to the forehand by Kieran Dervin. Back in the trapezoid, off the backside of the goal, Tomasz Pobejal. Out of the left wing corner. From the hash marks, Pobejal, then for McLean, then back up top. This is Van Williamson, walks the line. Left side again, McLean, down to the goal line. Pobejal, the bumper, they score! This one's going to count. Up over the glove of Papineau. Kieran Dervin makes it 1-0 Kingston on the power play. So after tempting fate one time too many last night, the Spirit get bit on the first power play chance again. From up high, McLean, down to the goal line, Pobejal, and then in front, Kieran Dervin, up over the glove of Caleb Papineau, his 10th goal of the season. And Alex McLean has certainly had his way against the Spirit this year. 7 points against Saginaw in games between Kingston and the Guelph Storm. And he's got another assist, the secondary marker with Pobejal on the Kieran Dervin goal. Back at even strength here. A 1-0 Frontenacs lead. Sees Ryan Hanrahan lead a stretch pass up for Brody Papoy. Trying to get around the defender between his legs. That's shut down. And this is Kuzmin. They go back to the near side. Lucas Moore leads the Frontenacs into the zone. Down the right wing. That's off a skate. Puck picked up by Saginaw's Ryan Hanrahan. Holds the puck out wide. Goes right between the dots. A chance in front for Geldart. And a great left pad save is made by Gavin Betts. Back up at the point. Go for Levi Harper. Left wing circle. Walks to the middle. Harper back over. Now Hanrahan finds James Go up high. The drop off. Ryan Hanrahan shot gets knocked down on its way through. Nolan Snyder now Going to bring things back into the offensive zone. Maybe a rush chance here for the Frontenacs. Long shot, easy stick save there by Caleb Papineau. Buck back out at center. No, Kuhlman brings it back in. Here's an opportunity. Bump near side. Makes the shot. They score. Nolan Snyder up over the glove of Papineau. 12:47 to go in the first period. Kingston doubles up. It's 2-0. Really good looks in the offensive end for Saginaw. On the rotation coming through. But Robin Kuzma, after the shot was initially blocked by Nolan Snyder, he comes back and finishes off his own play. Shot from just inside the dot, beats Papineau cleanly over the glove. From center ice, here comes Kingston again. Alex Misiak gets into Dimas Yilkin. Not once, but twice now on the near sideboards. Igor Barabanov pulls this puck out. Back for Josh Glavin. Swept to the middle off the stick of Valeris, looking for Klepov. 3 Frontenacs surround him. Now this is back for Barabanov, then Josh Glavin in the Spirit end. Angled back in by the stick of Dimas Yilkin. Williamson there to pick things up in the near side corner of the Kingston zone. Right. Gives this one off for Tomas Pobajal. Alex Misiak up the right side. Turns into Josh Glavin. Back in the near side corner. Spirit end. Misiak pulls it out. Now back behind the net. Doubles back again. First round import selection of the Erie Otters. Before coming over in the trade. Misiak and Glavin are wrapped up now. Well away from the puck. And it's picked up and moved to center. Klepov finds Xander Valeris. Walks into the zone and sends a shot wide on the glove side. Dimas Yilkin keeps it alive at the right point here for Saginaw. Pobajal puts him into the wall. Klepov tries to extend his own time here. Throws a big-time check, though, on Pobajal as this puck is out of play. 11:42 here in the first period. 2-0 Kingston. Nikita Klepov trying to get his hockey club back into it. He throws the body around. We'll be back to the slush puppy place in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
2-0 lead here for the Kingston Frontenacs from Slush Puppy Place. 11:42 left in this first period. Power play goal from Kieran Dervin. Just about a minute later, Nolan Snyder, less than a minute later. Nolan Snyder up over the shoulder of Caleb Papineau to make things 2-0. And again, it was a 6-1 Kingston victory. Last time these two teams met back at the Dow Event Center. Saginaw looking to rewrite the script here, though the Frontenacs off to a strong start. They win a D-zone faceoff here, up 2-0. Move this puck back out to center ice where it's Graydon Jones's to handle. Off the wall, Drew Roscoe. Right shot defenseman. Here in OHL game number 7, after being held out with a lower body injury, off-season knee surgery. This puck is deflected into the offensive zone. Roscoe tries to find Carson Harmer in front. He peels back, rips it down the boards. Gavin Betts out to his net to play it. Now Roscoe on the far side fumbled that puck. He gets drilled. Now Carson Harmer tries to keep things alive down low for Popoy. Back for Harmer. The circle shot gets blocked. Rebound chance. Loose play. Oh, what a save. Gavin Betts, the stop of the year with the paddle on Popoy. Rebound chance right in front of the net. He makes another save with the left pad. I don't believe the save that Gavin Betts just made. And now Kluche, injured, gets another slash going to the bench. 10:49 to go in the first. Still a 2-0 lead for Kingston. This is picked up and pulled back here. Kieran Dervin back in. The Frontenacs will settle things down. Brody Popoy gets another cross check on the way back to the bench from Alex McLean. And the Frontenacs very patiently back in behind their own net. 10.5 to go in the first period. It stays a 2-0 game. Up the near sideboards. Kelly throws it right in front. Here's Frost right to the net. Sends a shot wide. A lot of speed as the Frontenacs blaze into the offensive zone. Matthew Frost high in the zone again. Cuts down the far boards. James Go takes a stumble. Now Van Williamson, a point shot. That gets knocked down by Clark to the near side corner. He picks it up, marches up the boards, runs into a couple of Spirit sweaters. Clark and Kelly pulled back out by Saginaw's Bodie Stewart. They lead a 3-on-2 charge up through center ice with Back pressure coming from the Frontenacs. Now this is Sawyer Smith for James. Go the shot, fought off by Betts again with the glove. Rebound down to the goal line. Bodie Stewart up the right wing boards. Stewart rotates high. Top of the zone. Takes a shot that ramps off a stick and out of play. 9:43 here in this first period. It stays a 2-0 contest for a number of reasons, but largely thanks to that stick save from Gavin Betts. Looking to see if we can get a look at the replay here at some point. It was a wide open net for Brody Papoy, and Betts turns the hand over, smacks it from about 2 inches in front of the goal line. And we're trying to take a look down on the Spirit bench right now to see the status of Jacob Cloutier. Top line is on for Chris Lazary here. As the Frontenacs win a defensive zone faceoff, Tomas Pobajal gets put into the Kingston boards by Zhilkin. Alex Mishiak off a skate, little miscommunication there. Zhilkin marches right in and steals. Barabanov trying to get some help here as Williamson wrapped up Zhilkin, and a holding penalty is upcoming. 9:22 here in the first period. And Saginaw to their first IBEW Local 557 power play on the holding call here to Andre Mondu. And it could not have come at a better time. The Spirit have gotten a couple of offensive chances. But Dimas Jokin manufactures a penalty right there. Hard on the forecheck. Skates almost through Andre Mondu. And knocks him off the puck and forces him to kind of wrap up Zhilkin. So the usual five here for Chris Lazary on the power play. Barabanov centers Cloutier and Zhilkin. Klepov and Carson Harmer working the points. Frontenacs will clear here to start the penalty kill. And good to see for the Spirit that Cloutier is back out there after he really couldn't put much weight on that right leg after that most recent shift. This is Barabanov. Saginaw, seventh best power play in the OHL at 22.2%. Klepov in for Harmer. They look to go to work here, trailing Kingston 2-0. Pobajal will rim it all the way around the glass past Cloutier and down behind Caleb Papineau. Frontenacs, no slouches on the penalty kill. Second best in the league at 83.1%. They've allowed just 22 power play goals here this season as Barabanov's going to get stood up at the offensive blue line. Back at center, Klepov goes far side for Jacob Cloutier. Banked off the wall. The captain, Zhilkin, into the right circle, then the corner, and in behind the net. Dimas Zhilkin comes up and throws the puck there up high. Barabanov, far side, Klepov, fake the one-timer, loose puck in front off the left pad of Betts on a backhanded shot from Harmer. Cloutier sends it back up the wall. Klepov rips it, rip wide. Barabanov near side, Zhilkin the one-timer, and that one kicked out by Betts. Zhilkin gets it back. Barabanov left point. Shot into traffic, saved by Betts. Long rebound, chances stopped as well off the stick of Klepov. Carson Harmer now for Zhilkin. Center point Barabanov over to Klepov. One-time shot gets blocked and pulled aside by Nico Krimponic. Spirit keep it alive, though. Harmer for Klepov. 34 on the power play. Barabanov near side for Zhilkin. Fakes the one-timer and lays it back to Barabanov. Over to Klepov. One-timer and a great save by Betts again. Back in front. Zhilkin knocked down. Barabanov over. One-timer by Klepov again is blocked. And a collision afterwards between Cloutier and the goaltender Betts. And that draws quite the crowd here. 7:44 left in the first period. 23 seconds on the Spirit power play. All kinds of action here. Saginaw's gotten probably 6 or 7 shots here on this power play. Jacob Cloutier was the last man in. Got knocked into Gavin Betts. Frontenac's penalty killers take an exception to that, as Betts has been one of the standout performers of this first period so far. The referee, Ryan Harrison, is going to make sure that he's got an extra moment to make sure that helmet is cinched down. 23 seconds left on the penalty for holding to Andre Mondu. Jensen Geldart is going to center the second power play unit here for the Spirit between Brody Papoy and Ryan Hanrahan. James Goen, Levi Harper at the blue line right now. Pobajal to take the D-zone draw, and he wins it here in the PK for Kingston. They go off the glass and down behind Caleb Papineau. He'll play it out of his net past Jack Dever. James Go throws it up to Ryan Hanrahan. 10 seconds on the power play. Hanrahan scoops a puck. That's gloved down by Brody Papoy. Tries to dart through the penalty killers. Hanrahan down below the goal line. Tried to throw that puck through the skates of the referee. Out of the box is Mondu. He's got this now in the neutral zone. Saginaw 0 for 1 in the power play here in this game. Puck is recovered back in the Spirit end by Levi Harper. Up the near side, it's Hanrahan. cutting to the middle. Geldart's got to stretch at the line. Wasn't able to. Offside called here against Saginaw. 7:07 here in the first period. 2-0. Thanks to goals from Dervin and Nolan Snyder for the Kingston Frontenacs. They are without Malik McGowan. Their top defenseman here with an illness. Has missed practices all week long because of it. Took warm-ups, but is not in the game tonight. Goal and an assist in his earlier game against the Spirit this year. Now a chance in front is Kuhlman. That puck escaped from down below the Spirit goal line. His shot is sticked up high and out of play by Caleb Papineau. D-zone face-off coming up here for the Spirit. 6:54 left in the first period. And again, for Caleb Papineau, first bit of action here since January the 9th, where he stopped 33 out of 37 against the Flint Firebirds in a losing effort. Looking for his first win since October the 26th in Windsor. Offensive zone face-off, won by the Frontenacs. Down the left wing they go, into the corner. Here's Mondu, back in below the goal line. Sticked away by Xander Valeris, tries to backhand it out. Mondu settles it down. Kept alive right in between the dots here by Kuzma. Back up top, Turnbull takes the point shot, tipped, they score. Second of the game, Nolan Snyder rolling across the slot, gets it past the right arm of Papineau. 6:37 left in the first period, and it's 3-0 Kingston. First OHL game for Nolan Turnbull. And Nolan Snyder's deflection ends up being his first assist. They work it low to high. Saginaw can't get this puck out. Valeris cuts off the pass in the circle, but he can't get it out of danger. Slung back in front, and the deflection from Snyder goes under the right elbow of Caleb Papineau. 3 goals now for Kingston on 8 shots. Igor Barabanov against Pobajal at center. Saginaw's going to need their top line to dig them out of this one. Dimas Jokin's got his stick broken off the faceoff. Maybe a slash from right. Goes up the right wing, picked up by Klepov, but Pobajal there here for the Frontenacs. Shot angled off the backboards, in behind the goaltender Betts. Now picked up at center. The Frontenacs clear it. Saginaw's Nikita Klepov throws it cross ice for Igor Barabanov. Into the offensive zone he goes, down the left side wall. Tries to cut back, but the stick of right was there. Now Alex Mishiak navigates out to center. Good pocket picked over by Barabanov, and Jilkin's on it. Leads the charge back in for the Spirit. A long shot deflects wide. Matthew Henderson against Jilkin back in the right wing corner. Jilkin pries the puck free, though, with help from Klepov. Right point, Blake Barnes there for Roscoe. Back and forth, the give and go with Barabanov. Roscoe's shot stopped there by Betts. The rebound dug after by Jilkin, but not fouled. 5:45 left in this first period. 3-0 Frontenacs. They are off and rolling here in this first period on home ice. We'll take a quick break. Kingston out in front. Back to Slush Puppy Place in a moment here on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
5:45 left in this first period. A 3-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. 2 of them coming off the stick of Nolan Snyder. And it has been a bit of a lopsided start here. Shots on goal brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. The Spirit were heavily outshot in last night's game at Peterborough. 49-21. They walk away with a 4-1 win. Right now they're being outshot 12-8 by Kingston. And they trail 3-0. But an offensive zone face-off for Carson Harmer. Snapped back instead by Kingston's Kieran Dervin. Back in behind the net, this is Lucas Moore. Right shot defenseman. Tries to outweight Carson Harmer, who's standing in the goal crease right now. Stumbles a little bit. And the Frontenacs will move this puck back up the right wing boards, and then Moore snaps a puck through center. Dervin Flips it back in past Brody Papoy on the backhand. Back in behind the Spirit net. James Goh pulls it out off the stick of Jacob Kluche. This one turned to the net. A long shot by Andre Mondu is guided to the corner by Caleb Papineau. Jacob Kluche, cross-ice pass, too far behind Levi Harper, spins it back in, taken by Mondu, nearly stolen there by Brody Papoy. Mondu's got it back and lays it off the boards, intercepted by Carson Harmer. Thrown down into the right wing corner of the Frontenacs end. Papoy, pass gets deflected. Harper just chops to the left circle for Harmer. Dropped it back off. Levi Harper spinning now into the left wing circle. Nice move by Harper. Back in front. The bouncing puck on a pass there. Escapes Papoy, and it'll be picked off by Dervin. Leading the counterattack now, Alex McLean down the wing. Frontenacs into the zone. This one wanted to be given off to Dever. Levi Harper is there and sends it back around to Brody Papoy. Stretch pass is too far for Carson Harmer. And so it goes down for an icing. 4:36 left in this first period. Middle stage of a 3-game road trip here for the Spirit. Peterborough last night. Kingston tonight. They'll be in Ottawa to take on the 67s on Sunday afternoon at a 3 p.m. puck drop. And all eyes are on the weather right now, as Marin mentioned during the pregame show. The Frontenacs in a light weekend. Saginaw tonight, off tomorrow, and then they're in Oshawa on Sunday for a 6:05 puck drop. And again, that's weather permitting right now, as Carson Harmer patiently awaits this defensive zone faceoff. And he's won it. Kluche taps it. Harper there for Brody Papoy, and all of a sudden, it's good puck movement. Saginaw's out of the zone. This one fired back in by Papoy. He goes back to the bench. Kluche stays on to forecheck while everybody else can get a line change. Now here come the Frontenacs back up the right side. Matthew Frost towards the middle. Clark for Kelly. Shut down at the blue line by Saginaw's Hanrahan, who gives him an extra shot. This puck rolls back down. Van Williamson can drop it off in behind the Kingston net for Nico Krimpatic, the former Brantford Bulldog. Back to Williamson. Pass is jammed back in by Matthew Frost. He got a little flyby hit there from Josh Glavin. Xander Valeris puts it up the far wall. Bodie Stewart just pokes this puck back out to center. Turnbull on it for the Frontenacs. Ahead for Kelly. Jensen Geldart shoulders his man Matthew Frost, and the puck spills back out to neutral ice. Rolling after this, Matthew Henderson with Bodie Stewart in pursuit all the way back in behind the Kingston goal. Well, they move this puck again. Turnbull back up. Frost near side. Kelly over the line, looking to go back to Frost. Pass misfired, so it's sticked aside by Papineau. Puck pops high into the air, shouldering back and forth at the Spirit blue line. Finally pulled back by Robin Kuzma. He's got to take a detour back into the center ice circle. Josh Glavin steps up. A decent hit there for Alex Kuhlman. No more puck for him. Xander Valeris rimmed it up the wall again in the Spirit end. Hanrahan gets it out to center. Snyder, 2 goals in this first period already. Jensen Geldart on a hit from Glavin again on Robin Kuzma. Geldart picks this puck up. Lays it back for Glavin. Bottom of the right circle, Spirit end. Snaps a long stretch pass up the wall. It's reeled in by Zhilkin. Has to cut back here. Zhilkin wheeling away from Kuzma. Sends it over. Now back to Zhilkin. Given back again for Klepov. Top of the zone. Delays and shoots. It's off a body. They can't get it away. Now Barabanov has to track it down at neutral ice. Zhilkin here. 2:40 left in the first period. 3-0 Kingston. And Zhilkin leads the charge back in for the Spirit. Barabanov drop pass. Jones. This shot goes into the glass. Now Klepov retreats up the right wing board. Sends it back down low. It was intercepted by Kuhlman. He'll clear here for Kingston. And that goes down as an icing. 2:24 left in the opening frame. Good puck movement between Barabanov and Zhilkin. Graydon Jones gets a good shot away. Igor Barabanov off of a 3-assist night last night. Back-to-back 3-point games. His 8th 3-point performance in 44 contests so far this season. He and Nikita Klepov have been dueling back and forth for the team's lead in scoring. Barabanov at 56 points, Klepov 59 coming into tonight. This is Dima Zhilkin. Off the offensive faceoff, walking back to the middle. Here comes the Spirit captain, gets hauled down. He's drawn another penalty. Frontenacs touch it up. 2:12 to go in the first. And that is 2 power plays manufactured purely by the legs of Dima Zhilkin. And you hear some hollering. That's the Kingston bench right now, not thrilled with the call. Jilkin tries to get the wheels going. Moore takes the legs out, and Saginaw to the IBW Local 557 power play for the second time in this game. Andre Mondu gets things out of danger here for the Frontenacs. Jack Dever throws it down the ice. Or Barabanov's got to pick things up again. Back up for Klepov. Cross-ice pass, Pobajal. That was deflected. Now up the far wall, Pobajal reels it back in here in the Frontenacs end. Long stretch passes all the way down the ice. Kingston clears again. Down to 1:45 here in the first period. 3-0 Kingston with just about 11 seconds separating the power play clock and the period clock. Saginaw tries to jam this up the right wing boards into the offensive zone. It's there, but met by 3 Kingston sweaters, and Barabanov can't keep that puck in the offensive zone. He's got to fight off Clark for it. Back over, it bounces. In front of the penalty box door, Barabanov sweeps back in his own end to move the puck for Dimas Jilkin. Out the right side, Kluche down the wing, looking to go back in front of the net. Now Jilkin pursues it back and behind the goal. Jilkin off the wall. Barabanov at the left point, over. Klepov fakes the one-timer, right wing circle, walks to the middle, near side, Jilkin back up high, Barabanov, the return pass, Jilkin one-timer, that stays out. Betts may have made the save. 1:01 left in the period, 50 seconds left on the power play, and that shot cost Dimas Jilkin another stick. That might be the only thing that kept it out. Offensive zone face-off in the left wing circle here. Jensen Geldart will lead out the second power play unit for the Saginaw Spirit. Bodie Stewart, Brody Papoy, Ryan Hanrahan, and Levi Harper. As Stewart's going to replace James Goh, it looks like here on this top or on this second unit. Hanrahan at the point. Over to Harper. A bouncer. Looking for Papoy. This one off the wall. Knocked back out. And into the Spirit end where Caleb Papineau lays it down for Ryan Hanrahan. Back to Levi Harper. Away from Robin Kuzma. Harper takes it into the zone himself. Little give and go there. Knocks it down, and sprawling after this puck, the goaltender Betts. Dives after with the paddle. 36.2 to go, and he gets a face-off. Second diving save with the paddle he's made in this game, although the first one much more impressive than that. That was just to say, hey, this is within my range. I'm going to grab it. 9 wins on the season for Gavin Betts. It's been a timeshare between he and Matthew Minchak. Backup goaltender tonight for Kingston, number 11 on Central Scouting's list of North American goaltenders. Frontenacs win the D-zone face-off, fire it down the ice. Papineau there to set things up in the trapezoid again for the dying seconds of this power play. Levi Harper, the drop pass, Geldart. Knights on through. Now this is Hanrahan with speed into the zone for Papoy. Right wing circle, snaps a shot. That one blocked. Back behind the net it goes. Taken by Jensen Geldart. Rammed it back up the wall. Penalty time expires. Out of the box is Moore. Brody Papoy tries to keep things alive. It goes back in behind the net where Betts is there. Guides it back along Matthew Henderson. Glove down by Bodie Stewart. But that's it for the first. Some great saves by Gavin Betts. But the Kingston Frontenacs offensively very much in the driver's seat. Shots on goal through 20 minutes of play, brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. 13-9 in favor of the home team. Kingston up 3-0 on the Saginaw Spirit as well. We'll take a break. When we come back, Marin's got your first intermission report. Back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates. Retirement made clear.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Caravan Facilities Management also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
It's time for your intermission report, brought to you by Raymond.
Welcome back into the Stormmaster Exteriors studio for the first intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. I'm Marin Klein. Dylan Clark in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. We'll be joined by him in a moment, but first taking you back through all the action in that first period. The first Spirit shot didn't come until 4 minutes in. The pace held early by the Frontenacs. And the Spirit penalty kill, not much of a break from the 8 they saw last night. Had to go on it quite early as Uri Rauja was called for interference. A bit of confusion to start that power play as Alex Mishiak thought he had a goal, but no, Papineau was able to get his glove on that puck. But it would be short-lived as Dervin with the power play goal over Papineau's shoulder would put Kingston on the board first.
Out of the left wing corner. From the hash marks, Pobajal, then for McLean, then back up top. This is Van Williamson, walks the line. Left side again, McLean, down to the goal line. Pobajal, the bumper, they score! This one's going to count. Up over the glove of Papineau. Kieran Dervin makes it 1-0 Kingston on the power play.
Just after the Spirit saw a few good looks, but only a minute later, Nolan Schneider beats Papineau over the glove, putting Kingston up 2-0.
Mark back out at center. No, Kuhlman brings it back in. Here's an opportunity, bump near side. Makes the shot, they score. Nolan Snyder up over the glove of Papineau. 12:47 to go in the first period. Kingston doubles up, it's 2-0.
Now, after going down early, Saginaw starting to apply some pressure, saw some high-quality chances, but as Dylan said it, what might have been a save of the year, diving acrobatics from Gavin Betts to keep the Spirit off the board.
Carson Harmer tries to keep things alive down low for Papoy. Back for Harmer. The circle shot gets blocked. Rebound chance. Loose play. Oh, what a save. Gavin Betts, the stop of the year with the paddle on Papoy. Rebound chance right in front of the net. He makes another save with the left pad.
The Spirit then again beginning to apply pressure and getting an opportunity on the power play after a holding call to Kingston, but they could not capitalize. Coming back the other way, Kingston in the zone. Saginaw just couldn't get the puck out of danger, and it would be Nolan Snyder once again with the tip-in shot off Nolan Turnbull.
Back in below the goal line. Sticked away by Xander Valeris. Tries to backhand it out. Londu settles it down. Kept alive right in between the dots here by Kuzma. Back up top. Turnbull takes the point shot. Tip. They score. Second of the game. Nolan Snyder rolling across the slot. Gets it past the right arm of Papineau. 6:37 left in the first period, and it's 3-0 Kingston.
Turnbull earned his first OHL point with the assist on that one. Now, a little bit later in the period, Dima Zhilkin drawing yet another power play opportunity to finish out the period on the man advantage for Saginaw, but they could not capitalize. Betts and the Kingston penalty kill, keeping them off the board. So that's where we sit with Kingston leading 3-0. Saginaw up in that shot count 13-9. Not able to capitalize on any power plays yet. When we come back, we'll welcome in Dylan and talk about all the action we saw there in the first. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today. The disability experts in your community.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Hello and welcome back into your first intermission report, brought to you by Raymond Empower Your Purpose. Maren Klein here in the Stormmaster Exteriors studio. And now we are being joined by Dylan Clark in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan, a lot of action there in the first period. Saginaw down 3-0. And let's take it back just to the beginning there. The Spirit penalty kill got no break whatsoever. Stepan Shurgan, a large part of that penalty kill yesterday. Caleb Papineau, not too much he could do about that first goal, but talk about what you've just seen in the defensive zone from the Spirit so far.
Yeah, it was kind of a period of two extremes, right? Like a lot of really good things done offensively, but you're down 3-0 at the end of 20 minutes. It tells you a couple things. They kind of ran out of magic on the penalty kill. Like you said, bailed out by Stepan Shurgan a number of times last night. Great puck movement by Kingston on that power play goal. And Caleb Papineau had already made a couple of saves on it. Really, the goal that goes in, perfect, low to high, or high to low to the bumper. Not a ton he's going to be able to do to stop that. The second goal would probably want that one back on the wrist shot that gets over the glove from Nolan Snyder. And the deflection, again, that one's kind of 50-50. So that puck doesn't come out, though, on that third goal. And that's probably the one that might stick from a team standpoint in the Spirit's craw just the most, because it was a very clearable puck that doesn't get out, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. You're down 3-0. But again, on the flip side of it, 13 shots in the first period, that's nothing to sneeze at for Saginaw. They had some really good looks. Gavin Betts just right now, the goaltender with the advantage.
Yeah, and talk about those offensive chances. 2 power plays for Spirit, both kind of created by Dima Zhilkin. Zhilkin been all over the ice tonight, and it's something that I noticed while watching last night's game. He was being very vocal on that top power play unit to all the skaters. As anytime there was a stoppage on the ice, just talk about what you've seen from him, especially manufacturing those 2 huge chances for Saginaw.
Yeah, well, this is what Dave Drinkel and Chris Lasry meant when they knew that Dima Zhilkin was probably going to be their captain from the day he walked into the Dow Event Center. He's just got that kind of air about him. He knows the way that things should go. He's got the vision, he's got the skill and just the hockey IQ, and he's going to kind of move the pieces around the chessboard, and guys want to follow him. So, that's why he's got the C on his sweater, for the things he can do that way. But again, the effort, you look at those penalties and how they came about. Zilkin manufactured those by just simply refusing to stop. He forced the Frontenacs to take holding and tripping penalties to try and stop him from really blowing the doors off of him on the way by. So he's going to need to continue that pace of play. And that's, that's what comes with being the captain, is you don't really get a night off. You don't get any moments to shy away from the spotlight. So Zilkin did well to manufacture those power play chances for the Spirit in that first period. He's got to keep that standard, and the rest of the group's got to come up to the way that Zilkin's playing right now.
Yeah, and talking about the rest of the group keeping that standard too. Ryan Hanrahan, he's really finding a rhythm in this game. He's had a lot of great looks, and coming back from injury, it was a little bit of a slow start from him, kind of getting back into a rhythm, as it would be for any player when they miss the amount of time that he did. Just talk about him, because it seems like each game you just see more and more from him on the ice.
The confidence that he's showing right now, it's very soon going to translate to points on the board. Still hasn't found the score sheet since returning to the lineup from that wrist injury. 5 points right now on the season. Hasn't found the score sheet since October the 24th, his first goal in the OHL against the Erie Otters. But again, you see why, the more you watch this kid, why he was drafted 13th overall by the Spirit. He's got the size, officially listed at 6'1". I think he's closer to 6'2" at this point. Just the long, flowing stride, and it doesn't take long, 2 or 3 of them, and he's from his own blue line into the offensive zone. And the vision and puck control, he can do pretty much anything. You don't want to put too much onto him, but if Spirit fans kind of remember the way that Owen Beck could bring the puck into the offensive zone, you see that projection or that ability maybe on the horizon or in the cards for this kid. He's just got that idea, similar to what we said about Zilkin, knowing where things should go. Hanrahan's got that logic. He's got that hockey IQ where he's thinking that far ahead. And once everything comes together a little bit more for him, I think once we see one go in, I think the points are going to start to pile up in rapid succession for Ryan Hanrahan.
Yeah, and speaking of points piling up, their last 2 games, 10 goals to their opponents 2 for the Spirit. We know that this team can get offense going very, very quickly, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out for the second period. Dylan, thanks so much for joining us. When we come back, we'll take a look at some out-of-town scores. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Sebwing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Hi, this is Liam Storch, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back in to the first intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. Maren Klein here in the Stormmaster Exterior studio. And now we'll take a look at some out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. A lot of action going on around the OHL. 5 other games going on right now, all in the same time as our game here between Saginaw and Kingston. So all getting ready to start that second frame. First off, Owen Sound at Kitchener. Cole Zawarski opened up scoring for the Owen Sound, but Dylan Edwards tying it on a power play goal. That game at 2-2. Sarnia at London, the only goal for that one. The Sting leading. Alessandro Diorio scoring early in that one to put Sarnia up. Brantford at Sudbury. Sudbury taking the lead first on a power play goal by Jan Chauvin, but Marek Vanaker tying that one up for Brantford as they head into the second. Flint at Windsor, a game with a lot of on the line, especially in the West, both tied at 64 points, looking to lead the conference. Flint opened up scoring first, Ignat Pazzi, but Anthony Cristoforo tying it up for Windsor in the final 5 minutes of the first period. And finally, another game with a bit on the line, more for Saginaw. Erie at Guelph, a struggling Erie against a Guelph team that's just 1 point behind Saginaw in the standings. Carter Stevens opening up the night with a goal for Guelph, but then McLean Argett tying it up for the Otters on a power play. So all these games tied right now, except for that Sarnia and London game, and of course our game between the Spirit and the Frontenacs. So a lot of action, a lot of scoring early, and more to come. We will get you to the second period with Dylan shortly. You're listening to Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Second period action here from Slush Puppy Place. Saginaw trailing Kingston 3-0. No carryover penalties or power plays from the first period. Carson Harmer, Jacob Cloutier, and Brody Papoy starting out the second here for Chris Lazar. They win the draw. Back to Blake Barnes, who's out there with James Go, and a bit of a shuffling of the D pairs here. Saginaw rips this back in and will be charged with icing here. 9 seconds into the frame. James Go, Saginaw's elder statesman of sorts. This would have been the trip that Sebastian Gervais set the franchise record for games played prior to his trading to the North Bay Battalion. So James Go right now, 187 games in a Spirit uniform, 268 in the Ontario Hockey League. He's the ranking member here in Saginaw as far as games played goes. Scored against his former Peterborough Petes last night as well. Here's Saginaw out of the defensive zone. They work it from a scrum. Brody Papoy tries to float this up and ahead to Jacob Cloutier. The goaltender Gavin Betts will paddle it aside. It's been a very active goal stick tonight for Betts. Puck up the right side. Jack Dever chases things down in the offensive zone here for Kingston. He's turned into the boards by Blake Barnes, so James Go can go off the glass and out to center, where Andre Mondu is there to glove things down for the Frontenacs. James Go. Puck bounced between the legs of Harmer, then over to Brody Papoy, but a long first shift here for this group. As Jacob Cloutier is just able to hop over the wall. Andre Mondu goes it back up here to Alex McLean. Turn it back towards the middle. Lucas Moore. Pass up the right wing is just angled back in by Kieran Dervin. Picked up in behind the net. Landon Wright off the boards. Taken from Barabanov. Give and go back with James Go. Barabanov over the left wing. Drops it there for Nikita Klepov. Turns around high in the offensive zone. Klepov stops up. Center point now. Left the puck behind. Tried to take a shot. This one moved from Jones. Looking for Drew Roscoe. Miscommunication. So it's Paul Bijal back in here for the Frontenacs. Pushed back in. Here's a backhand chance. Williamson really put that in front. Klepov was there to intercept. Off the glass it goes. Frontenacs keep it alive. And a long shot by Alex Misiak. gloved and held by Caleb Papineau for a faceoff. 18-17 left in the second period. 3-0 the score. And again, this is a Frontenacs team that had a 6-1 victory over the Spirit earlier this season. It was first game coming out of the trade deadline. Tomasz Pobajal is going to take this face-off against Igor Barabanov. He had one of the more remarkable goals, the little lacrosse move in that game. Saginaw gets this puck back out the center. And Pobajal will see Van Williamson lose this puck back into the goaltender Gavin Betts here for the stoppage. Williamson, the captain of these Kingston Frontenacs, 18:06 to go in the second. Betts has to make an unplanned stop. So that gives Saginaw a bit of a gift here in this offensive zone faceoff. Levi Harper back out on the ice here for Chris Lazary. Again, 1 point shy of tying Zane Parek's rookie defenseman scoring record here for Saginaw. Parek, 37 points in 50 games during his rookie season. Harper, this is game 45. He's at 36, and he's got it at the point. Shot deflected wide off the skate of Pobajal, and right gets drilled there on a hit from Dimas Yilkin. Right's in some discomfort. Barabanov trying to move that puck to Nikita Klepov. This is picked up by Alex Misiak. Skates it over the Spirit blue line. Barabanov there to intercept Pobajal. Tries to hit him. Puck taken by Zhilkin again. Up through center ice. Klepov back for Zhilkin. Right circle. It's the late man over to the far side. James go back in front for Klepov. He double hit it. Turned around. What a save there by Betts as he spun over his left shoulder to whack it back out with the shoulder and the elbow. James go back up to Barabanov. In here comes Klepov. Tried the centering feed. Can't find Hanrahan. Puck in the corner here for Kingston. Matthew Henderson taken away there by Saginaw's Hanrahan. Alex Misiak now lifts it well up into the air on the clearing attempt here for the Frontenacs. James Go has Nolan Snyder all over him. This is Ryan Hanrahan up the left wing boards. Hanrahan plays this back in behind the net of Betts. He's already made some acrobatic stops here in this game. Frontenacs get it up. Nolan Snyder has got the last two goals in this contest. They'll be whistled offside here. 16:54 here in this second period. Another crazy sequence behind the goaltender Gavin Betts. First came back from a bit of an injury hiatus. Left the game on January 16th against the Brampton Steelheads with an injury. Now there's a chance for Alex Kuhlman right off the faceoff. Frontenacs come in with speed. This one will be cleared back down. No icing as the Spirit get a puck out of the zone. Krimpanek off the end wall back behind Gavin Betts. Cross-ice pass can't be knocked down by Alex Kuhlman. And the Frontenacs will beat out the icing, though. Here's Kuhlman out of the left wing corner. Brings this one up high. Nolan Snyder back to the boards. And for Krimpanek, a point shot fought off there. Maybe a touch of the blocker there on Papineau. Rebound goes off the boards. Kuhlman there for Snyder. Bumps it back up high. More to Krimpanek. Left point shot. Good save by Papineau. Rebound comes back out into the slot. Now Krimpanek back up high. Fake the shot there by Kuzma. He scores. Swept to the net. Robin Kuzma. First the fake, then the shot through traffic. 16:07 left in the second period, and it's 4-0. Tenth goal of the season for Robin Kuzma. And that shot was kept along the ice. Not sure about the traffic in front of Caleb Papineau. Just unable to follow it the whole way back. Kingston very much in the driver's seat here in the second period. Only 4 minutes gone, and they're up 4-0. Puck bouncing in the neutral zone. Williamson snaps it back in under the stick of Papineau as he's out of his net to play it. Jacob Kluche back in his own end. Into the offensive zone with speed, poked away. Following on is Glavin. Pumps this into the right wing corner off of the official. Kingston will play things back out and down towards the Spirit goal line. Levi Harper's got to keep going. No icing here as he stops skating for a moment. Here's a chance. They score. Out of the corner, Matthew Frost puts that one low on the glove side of Papineau. Looked like there was potential for icing there. 15:31 to go in the second. That's what Levi Harper's arguing here. He's trying to look up at the video board. trying to say, how is that not icing? Shilkin's got something to say to Adam Kelly. And a bit of a mental lapse there somewhere on that play. As Frost got his 5th of the season. 5-0 Frontenacs here. They've scored 11 goals now in just 5 periods of hockey against the Spirit. Not even. Dimas Yilkin off the boards, trying to get something back here for Saginaw. This will be stolen again. Odd man break here in Dervin. That'll be reeled back in by Levi Harper. Yilkin comes on through. Good hit there for Jack Dever. Caleb Papineau moves it quickly for Igor Barabanov, then Levi Harper. Up to Nikita Klepov, backhanded in. Harper, right circle shot. That one's absorbed and held by the netminder Gavin Betts, and there's more after from James Go. Jack Dever got nose-to-nose with him. Kremponic and Nolan Snyder will pick up the assists on the Kuzma goal. That was scored just about 30 seconds prior to the 5-0 goal. 15:01 left in this second period. Offensive zone face-off here for the Spirit. It's Barabanov. To go for it against Polbejan. Face-offs even at 15 apiece. Saginaw's going to win this one. Moore out of the far corner. Frontenacs will see this one played back in behind the net of Betts. Now Barabanov looking in front for Zhilkin. Polbejan backhands it out to center ice. Here's a 2-on-1. Alex Mishiak down the left side with right, headed towards the net. Good active stick there in the lane with Graydon Jones. Down below the goal line. Now a chance for Polbejan is deflected up into the netting. 14:37 left in the second period, and things rapidly getting out of hand here. 5-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. Goals from Robin Kuzma and Matthew Frost here to start this second period. And another odd man break there on the 2-on-1 as Blake Barnes stepped up to try and take a piece out of Alex Mishiak. 2-on-1 shut down by the active stick of Graydon Jones. Spirit in the D-zone face-off here. Get things out of danger. Ryan Hanrahan throws a backhand pass up the boards looking for Sawyer Schmidt. Gets it back from Uri Rauja. This is back into the right wing corner of the Frontenacs end. Kingston will reel it in. This is Kuzma off the skate of Hanrahan. Pokes it back out past him to center ice. Josh Glavin's got to try to box out Nolan Snyder. Loose puck. Kuzma looking right between the dots. Poked away by Valeris and taken by Saginaw's Hanrahan. Into the offensive zone. Rauja is offside. 14:04 left in this second period. Not quite the free-flowing play of last night's game in Peterborough. Stops and starts in a disjointed second. As the Spirit looking to pick up a third win for what would just be the third consecutive win for what would just be the third time this season. Still lots of hockey left to be played, but you find yourself in a 5-0 hole. That seems a little bit less likely than it normally would at this point in the game. James Go pushes things back into the right wing corner. Jacob Klute's after it in the offensive zone. Carson Harmer back up high. Go. Harper takes the one-timer, directing traffic with his head, moves it back now to Go. Then up high for Carson Harmer. His shot is snared by the goaltender Betts. He hangs on for a face-off. He's got a little bit of words for Jacob Klute too. Not a fan. Nico Kremponic will remove Klute from the situation. 13:44 to go in the second period. 5-0 Frontenacs. Back to Slush Puppy Place in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at garberchesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. 13:44 left in this second period. And a 5-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. Saginaw was swept last year in the season series by the Fronts for the first time since 2015-2016. They had been in this building on a 5-game point streak until they were defeated 7-6 in a shootout last year on January the 24th. Now they'll try to turn things over in the offensive zone. Back out at center ice, James Go off the clear. Brody Popoy knocked down by Nico Krimpatic. Slow to get back up, and now it's McLean down the left side. Back in the neutral zone. Popoy is not yet back up on the ice. 13:20 to go here in the second. As this is fired back in, Popoy having a lot of trouble getting back to the Spirit bench. He's not going to be able to. They'll blow things down. And things going from bad to worse here in this game for Saginaw. 13:16 left in the second. Krimpatic just kind of tossed down Popoy there. Not sure where he gets wrapped up in things. Makes his way back to the Spirit bench. He'll get some attention from the athletic therapist. That would be a key piece out of the lineup for the Spirit. Again, heavy collision as Krimpatic comes in and rolls through Popoy. And Chris Lazar's got a couple of things to say, I believe, to the official right now. 13:16 to go in the second. Puck in the neutral zone. Lucas Moore down the right wing here for the Frontenacs. It's onto the stick of Graydon Jones for Saginaw. Outlet pass knocked down through middle ice. Bodie Stewart trying to blow past Henderson here. That'll be knocked down on the far boards. Backhanded out to center by Kieran Dervin. Jack Dever will inadvertently backhand this into the Frontenac bench. 12:55 here in this second period. Face off to come up in the neutral zone here. The Frontenacs in the middle of a 6-game winning streak on home ice. They have lost 3 out of their last 4, however. Just 4 wins in 9 games since returning from the holiday break. Again, they've had their ups and their downs. 2 separate losing streaks of 6 games or more. 1-6, 1-7. This is fired back in behind the net of Caleb Papineau from center ice. Frontenacs right now just 1 more point than Saginaw. 42 compared to 41 on the season. A couple of young hockey clubs here doing battle. Back up inside the Spirit blue line, out at center ice. 12:30 to go in this second period. It's 5-0 Kingston here on this Friday night. And they're guilty of icing again as Drew Roscoe will touch things up back in behind the Spirit goal. And the sticks will move all the way back down into the Frontenac zone. Nikita Klepov, Dimas Yilkin, and Igor Barabanov. If there's any hope for Saginaw to get back in this game, it is on the ice right now. Levi Harper and James Go on the blue line. Barabanov to take the face-off against Alex Kuhlman, 9th overall pick in this year's OHL priority selection. Father Nikolai played quite a few years in the National Hockey League. And off the draw, Alex will move it back for Moore. Picked up again by Henderson, moved up the near side boards for Kuzma. And Alex Kuhlman has it at center ice. Shouldered there by Dimas Yilkin, whose dad did not play in the National Hockey League, but brother Danny just back made his NHL debut for the Winnipeg Jets. And now Dima's got it up the right side. Dropped it off. Klepov over the offensive blue line. Down to the goal line. Takes it right to the net off the outside of the cage. Trying to jam it on the short side against Gavin Betts. Now this is Harper. Left point. Moves it off for Barabanov. Then James Go. Back over to Levi Harper on the far side boards. Harper walks between the dots. Takes a shot knocked down. And the Frontenacs pick it up on the way back out. Barabanov. Then for Go. Back in behind the net of Betts. Klepov trying to station there against Matthew Henderson. And the Frontenacs will flip this puck up and over the head of Levi Harper back into the Spirit zone. We'll make sure there's no icing here. Puck up the near wall. Harper's pass from Klepov intercepted. Pobijal 2-on-1 down the left wing. Right in front, they score. Backdoor tap in. Landon Wright, no chance there for Caleb Papineau as the Frontenacs make it 6-0. Ninth of the season for Wright. Pobijal continues to be a thorn in the side of the Spirit there. And Klepov was just trying to make that one-touch pass back in the neutral zone. Instead of finding the man in the middle of the ice, I believe Barabanov, he ends up finding a black jersey. Pobijal slides it over the last man back in Levi Harper, and it's an easy tap-in for Landon Wright's ninth of the season to make it 6-0. Brody Papoy is back on the ice here for Saginaw. Goaltender Gavin Betts there to rim this puck around. Xander Valeris up the near side wall with some help from Jacob Kluche. Batted down to the ice by Kelly. Puck is kept alive, though, in the Frontenac's end. A couple of collisions. They'll take things away. Carson Harmer, good poke there and a steal. He's down below the goal line. Harmer tried to throw it back in front. Papoy between the dots. That one rides up. Caught the shoulder of the netminder and the crossbar. 10:51 left in the second. A good steal there. Great work by Harmer and Papoy. They just can't quite convert. Far fewer chances in the second period here for Saginaw than there were in the first. Just their second shot on goal. Shot still 15-13 in favor of Saginaw. At this point in the hockey game, shots on goal brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. And now Carson Harmer will be waved out of this face-off for Jake Kluche. So Papoy will bump over and take the left wing now. Kluche gets Jack Dever. Frontenacs win the draw. Alex McLean, who had the assist on the goal and started all this, and a turnover in front. Carson Harmer just got robbed again by Gavin Betts. Harmer sent over to the left wing boards. Graydon Jones, a sharp angle try. That's turned out by Betts as well. And Williamson back up the right side. Bouncer off the fingertips of Roscoe. It's going to be stolen. Breakaway. Dever scores. 5-hole on Papineau. 7-0. Broken play back at the Spirit blue line as it goes through Drew Roscoe. 10:26 here in the period. Saginaw's had a bit of a crossroads here, as this is getting towards the time where you'd like to throw Stepan Shurigan in just to help Caleb Papineau out. I mean, that's back-to-back goals off of odd man breaks. But Shurigan's tabbed to play a game tomorrow, likely against the Ottawa 67s. And there's a lot of hockey left to be played in this one. 7-0 Kingston now. This is back in behind the Frontenac's goal. James Go looking for Sawyer Schmidt back to go. The shot stopped and held by Gavin Betts through traffic. 10:01, as they've not yet finished announcing in the building the Landon Wright goal to make it 6-0. A minute later on the dot, Jack Dever will pick up his 8th goal of the season. Former Ottawa 67. As things have gone from bad to worse here for Saginaw. Frontenacs have their 7th of the game. They've now scored 7 goals in a game since December the 10th. 7-3 win against the Oshawa Generals. This in the offensive zone for Saginaw. Can't be held alive. This is taken back down the left wing boards from center ice for Sawyer Schmidt. Left wing corner. Frontenacs will steal. This will be Alex Misiak into the offensive zone. Pocket picked by Uriah Rauja. Henderson. Then at center, Pobajal down the right side. Right gets around Levi Harper. Turned around. Got Harvey and Hanrahan on him. Back below the Spirit goal line. James Go coughed it up. Ripped back in by Mondu. Up the near side wall. James Go takes over. Gets things out for Ryan Hanrahan. Maybe a 3-on-2 here for the Spirit. Pumped out wide. Uriah Rauja near side looking to find Sawyer Schmidt. Pobajal intercepts. Another breakaway. Alex Misiak now on Papineau, and a save made by the right pad by the Spirit netminder. It has been a tossing to the wolves here for Papineau in the second period. Makes another stop there on a breakaway. As this is back in behind the Kingston goal. Right, hit by Xander Valeris. Josh Glavin back in behind his goaltender here. Puck up the wall for Valeris, then Barabanov. And the pass misfired back for Dimas Yokin. 8:45 left in the second. 7-0 Kingston. As the Spirit captain steps out from behind his goal line. Puck up the near boards. Klepov carries it, looking to go towards the middle. Cut off. And the Frontenac defenders will lay things up off the glass. And a bouncer out at center. Xander Valeris over to Josh Glavin. Ripped back in. Klepov. Gavin Betts. And we'll rim it up the near side. Kuhlman. Then for Mondu. Frontenacs trying to navigate their way out of their own defensive end. Intercepted, though, by Saginaw's Klepov. 3 against 3, they hit the blue line. Klepov knocked down by Zhilkin now in the corner on that pass. Zhilkin stops up back and behind the Kingston goal. Barabanov up high. Here's Valeris. Between the dots, the shot ricocheted wide. Rebound off the wall. That one turned out as well by Betts and off the outside of the goal. Zhilkin with a hit there on Snyder. Puck up to the left point. Drew Roscoe lays it back in off the boards. Zhilkin back behind the Kingston goal. In a rough ride here, but he moves the puck back up to the left point. Roscoe. Then for Klepov. Near side Jones. One touches it back. Roscoe the shot. Tipped wide on the chance in front from Zhilkin. Klepov doing what he can to keep things alive and again at the top of the zone for the Spirit. 2 Frontenacs come over to him. Shovels the puck back down into the corner. Zhilkin got wrapped up there with the leg of Lucas Moore. The Frontenacs will clear here. Down for an icing. 7:21 left in the second. 7-0. As the faceoff will come all the way back down into the Kingston zone. And a semi-decent run of scoring opportunities here for the Spirit. There's a conversation being had on the bench right now. Maybe some frustration on the defensive side of things. As this puck is gloved down off the face-off by Bodie Stewart. Alex Kuhlman gets it out. Kuzma then up for Snyder. Trying to backhand it in past James Go. Levi Harper back out of the Spirit end. Stretch past Jensen Geldart. Up the right wing boards. Lost it there to Frost. Back up the stretch pass. Kelly's going to throw James Go into the boards. He tried to step up on a big hit. Williamson pursued by Jensen Geldart. Intercepted in behind the Kingston net by Hanrahan. Thrown back in front and taken back by Kelly. Moved to Clark. Then up to Frost. Kelly shouldered by Jensen Geldart. Frost back in for Kingston. He steps up and he and Levi Harper go back and forth. A couple of whacks for one another. Play's going to continue. Clark puts it back in front of the Spirit net where James goes on it. He'll backhand things up and through the skates of Ryan Hanrahan. Frontenacs will pick things up. Down the right wing boards. Matthew Frost back into Levi Harper's corner. All the way around it comes Bodie Stewart. Up the near sidewall. Shoulder there by Henderson. Puck picked up again at center. Now this is Kelly as Stewart gets wrapped up and shrugged off by Matthew Frost. They'll avoid any penalties there. Strange wrap-up between those two players as Brody Popoy carries it up the far side wall. Poked at the last second. This one knocked back out the center. 6 minutes left in the second period. It stays 7-0 Kingston. As this cannot be stopped up at the line, Kieran Dervin brings it into the offensive zone for the Frontenacs. James Go back out to center. Levi Harper right now is locked up behind the play with Dervin. The referees will let them get untangled from one another before blowing the whistle. So this puck will be knocked back down into the Frontenac zone now. Brody Popoy out of the far side corner. Trying to lay it back off the wall. Turnbull there for Kingston. Got an assist earlier tonight in his first OHL game. As the Frontenacs trying to navigate their way out of the defensive zone. Alex McLean back up to Jack Dever. Gets a cross-ice hit there on the shoulder from Josh Glavin. And so we ramp back in for Gavin Betts. The goaltender faked like he wanted to play it. He'll cover. Turnbull does not appreciate the swipe from Jacob Kluche on his goaltender. Neither does Matthew Henderson. They're all going to grab 42 by the scruff here. 5:11 left in the second. And this is going to continue as it's frustration on both sides pouring over. Jacob Kluche trying to get something going here for his team. McLean and Josh Flavin will paw at one another. Kluche will likely pick up a penalty, and one of the Frontenacs will as well, as Kluche gives a shot to McLean on his way back to the penalty box. 5:11 left in this second period. 7-0 Kingston. We'll have some 4-on-4 action, but we come back for you in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Some rough stuff here in the second period between the Saginaw Spirit and the Kingston Frontenacs. 5:11 left in the middle frame. 7-0 is the lead for the home team. Jacob Kluche and Matthew Henderson are in the penalty boxes for offsetting roughing penalties after Kluche took a bit of a flyby on the goaltender Gavin Betts. Just trying to get something going here for a Spirit team that's in quite the hole right now, 7-0. As the shots on goal actually favor the Spirit. Shots brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters, 20-16. As they win the draw to start 4-on-4. James Go, back for Nikita Klepov. And in behind the netminder, Papineau. Klepov will look for an outlet pass. Settled down by Igor Barabanov. Into the offensive end. Barabanov back to James Go. Down the left wing boards. Go into the corner. Back in behind the goal. Up the near side boards. It's slashing to Kluche, roughing to Henderson. Here's Kluche. The shot. He's going to ring it off the crossbar. Second bar the Spirit have hit here in this game. That'll send Kingston the other direction. Fired back in by Van Williamson. Papineau to try and knock it down in behind the net. Alex McLean off the skates of Dima Zhilkin. Return pass from Barabanov, then up Klepov. Cross ice feed, hits Barabanov in the left wing circle. Look at in front, another great save. All bet stretches out to Rob Zhilkin with the left pad. Should have been an easy tap in for Zhilkin. That's a remarkable save again by Betts. Zhilkin behind the offensive zone, keeps it going. Moves into the circle, takes a shot that gets blocked. On its way back through, now into the corner. Jones is put into the wall by Williamson. Comes back out in front. Klepov, lots of time. Barabanov wanted to go back to Klepov. Pass was deflected by Paul Bijal. Barabanov off the far wall, looking back towards the middle, twists it into the slot. Cross-ice pass on and off the toe of Klepov's stick. He'll be chased down by Williamson on the far wall. Klepov still has it here. 30 seconds left at 4-on-4. A shot to the front of the net, deflected wide by Zhilkin. And the Frontenacs clear again on a bouncing puck. And we'll go down and register an icing here. 3:32 left in the second period. It stays a 7-0 game. But a really good opportunity for James Go. And some good looks for Saginaw here at 4-on-4. That chance just right up and off the crossbar. It has not been a game of luck for Saginaw here on this Friday night. As Carson Harmer will stand in for this offensive zone faceoff. One back to Brody Papoy. Down the left wing circle. Papoy slides it looking backdoor for Levi Harper. That one's picked off by McLean. And left out to center ice. Jones is in a foot race now for Paul Bijal. Tries to cut him off. Lays the shoulder. This is Harmer to come back into the Spirit end. Brody Papoy there as well. Carson Harmer is going to take things away. Just inside the defensive blue line. Out of the box is Kluche. He's picked it up. He's got a step. Here's Kluche. Gets hooked. Takes a shot. And another save by Betts. That time with the stick as Papoy sends it down looking for Carson Harmer. Krimpatic is hit there by Kluche. Kind of jumped into that hit a little bit. Kluche looking to not come out of that with a charging penalty. As Henderson has things up the right wing boards to lay back into Drew Roscoe's corner in the Spirit end. Roscoe there for Levi Harper. Alex Misiak will steal. Snyder, now Kuhlman right to the net. All by himself between the legs of Papineau. Kuhlman scores. Off the steal. 2:36 left in the second period. It's 8-0 Kingston. Eighth goal of the year for the 9th overall selection. Alex Kuhlman takes advantage of a defensive zone breakdown, a steal, and he goes right between the wickets on Caleb Papineau. Kingston in the driver's seat at 8-0. 2:34 left in the second period. Still lots of hockey in this one. Henderson back in behind the Frontenacs net here after that goal. This is back out at center ice for Xander Valeris. Passed up the far wall, Josh Glavin. That'll be fired back in by Ryan Hanrahan off the curved glass. Dropping back out of the way. That is goaltender Stepan Shurigan, backup goaltender tonight. Trying to duck the head back. And again, Shurigan, one of the few goaltenders who wears his helmet on the bench. Not sure if there's an incident in his younger days. Most backup goaltenders, they go with the hat, maybe the towel. Shurigan's got the helmet, and you know what? He's come close to getting a couple of pucks up high while on the Spirit bench this year, so maybe he knows a little bit more than we do. Safety first. That's the last guy you want going down right now on the bench. 2 minutes left in this second period. Bodie Stewart at center ice. It's an 8-0 game here for the Kingston Frontenacs. Xander Valeris cross ice, taken by Ryan Hanrahan. The shovel shot there by Bodie Stewart is off the cuff of Gavin Betts' glove. Jensen Geldart looking from the circle. This one off the skates of Clark. Back out at center ice. Clark strides back into the offensive zone for Kingston. Right wing boards. He doubles back. Here's a chance. Right between the dots. That shot snapped up and out of play. Matthew Frost let it go. It was off a couple of sticks and out. Saginaw, the most goals that they've surrendered in a game since January the 16th against Kitchener. 7-4 loss there. They've surrendered 8 before. An 8-4 loss to the Sioux back on December the 17th. 8 to the London Knights on November the 29th earlier this year as well. A couple of 8 spots in this game. This is the third this season. They've not exceeded 8 goals against. However, we still have about 21 minutes of regulation hockey left to be played. Barabanov off the wall, looking to spring Dimas Yilkin. Bouncing puck in the right wing circle. Klepov tries for the reverse hit. Then up high, it's Drew Roscoe. Down, looking for Graydon Jones. The centering pass is deflected wide. Klepov back up to Roscoe. Rimmed it back in behind the Kingston goal. Final 60 seconds here of the second period. Puck to the near corner boards. Andre Mondu. All down. Klepov. Can't chase things back in behind the Kingston goal. Zilkin looking to line up a retribution hit there on Kieran Dervin. Cross-ice pass snapped off a stick. McLean back in. Here's Dervin. Trying to drive wide on Drew Roscoe. Carries him back in behind. A heavy check there from Roscoe on Dervin. 2 against 1. Back in behind the Spirit net. This is laid up the far wall for Barabanov. Lays it back down. Roscoe walking after it. Now up the right side. Tosses this back in and heads back to the bench. Seen a lot of Drew Roscoe here in this hockey game for the Saginaw Spirit. Getting more reps for their young defenseman. 13 seconds left in period 2. The Frontenacs will move out one more time from their own end. Pobijal back up through center ice. Over the line, onside, lays it in front. That's guided to the corner by Caleb Papineau. And that's it for the second. Lots to unpack here in this second period. Trying to find a positive for a Spirit team that still sits stunned on the bench right now as they one by one pick themselves up and make their way back to the locker room. 40 minutes of play, 8 pucks in the back of the net, all of them in Saginaw's. It's an 8-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. Shots 22-18 in favor of Saginaw after 40 minutes of play. We'll take a break. Second intermission. Marin's ready for you back in the studios. We'll be back to start the intermission here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan K9 Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan K9 Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
It's time for your intermission report, brought to you by Raymond.
Welcome back here into the Stormmaster Exterior Studio. Marin Klein with your second intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. Well, when it rains, it pours. The Frontenacs leading the Saginaw Spirit 8-0. Let's break down that second period, but it started off with a bit of a high note for the Spirit, but once again, they were denied by Betts. An acrobatic 360 save on Klepoff to keep the Spirit off the board.
Klepoff back for Zilkin. Right circle. It's the late man over to the far side. James go back in front for Klepoff. He double hit it, turned around. What a save there by Betts as he spun over his left shoulder to whack it back out with the shoulder and the elbow.
Betts picked up right where he left off to start the second, and so did the Kingston offense. Traffic in front of the net, and Robin Kuzma would fire the puck from a distance for the fourth goal of the night.
Forward to Krimponic. Left point shot. Good save by Papino. Rebound comes back out into the slot. Now Krimponic back up high. Fake the shot there by Kuzma. He scores. Swept to the net. Robin Kuzma. First the fake, then the shot through traffic. 16:07 left in the second period, and it's 4-0.
Snyder would get his third point of the night on the assist of the Kuzma goal. And then just 30 seconds later, crashing into the zone, Adam Kelly found Matthew Frost to poke the puck past Papineau to give the Frontenacs some insurance that lead.
Down towards the Spirit goal line. Levi Harper's got to keep going. No icing here. As he stops skating for a moment. Here's a chance. They score. Out of the corner, Matthew Frost puts that one low on the glove side of Papineau. Looked like there was potential for icing there. 15:31 to go in the second.
The teams went back and forth for the next few minutes. Again, some chances for Saginaw that were absolutely denied by Gavin Betts. And then piling on some more. Probijal in front of the net to right, sneaking the puck past Papineau to make it 7-0.
Back up the right side. Bouncer off the fingertips of Roscoe. It's going to be stolen. Breakaway. Dever scores. 5-hole on Papineau. 7-0.
Just a few moments later, one more goal from Kumlin. That would make it 8-0 to end that second period. A lot of action for Kingston and a lot to talk about for the Saginaw Spirit team, looking to find any type of answer, especially to get past Gavin Betts, who's coming back in the lineup after being out for a bit and having an outstanding night. When we come back, we're going to break it all down with Dylan. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
Welcome back into the Stormmaster Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with your second intermission report, brought to you by Raymond Empower Your Purpose. And now joining us, Dylan Clark in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. And Dylan, a lot to say about that period, but we're going to start at the situation the Spirit now find themselves in, down 8-0. Do you keep Papineau in, or do you bring Shurgin and risk something happening, knowing that you need him on Sunday against Ottawa?
Aaron, that's a fantastic question, and I'm very glad that I don't have to be the one to actually answer it here, because, again, it's, you know what, you've seen a goaltender have a difficult hockey game. There are some goals in this contest that I think Caleb Papineau would certainly want back. There are also some goals in this contest where Caleb Papineau was left absolutely out to dry on some of these odd man breaks, breakaways, defensive zone breakdowns. It's kind of split 50-50, and things have continued to unravel as the scores kind of piled up against Saginaw. The mistakes are becoming more glaring and more frequent. So it's a very tough decision to make, because, again, you need things to be competitive on Sunday against that Ottawa 67 team. They're the best in the OHL right now. That's probably been tabbed as Stepan Shurigan's game. But do you burn 20 minutes of Shurigan hockey right now, maybe risk an injury, risk Shurigan experiencing the same fate that Caleb Papineau has here? It's a tough decision, and I don't know that there's a right answer. There really isn't. There really isn't a good path forward here, and maybe the answer is to just button things down. It's easier said than done, but they've gotten themselves back into the break, into the intermission here. They've kind of found a life raft here, I guess, as far as a breather to get reset. If they can, kind of stop the bleeding here for Caleb Papineau, then sure, but they haven't been able to do that for the last 20 minutes here. So it might be the merciful thing to do to throw in Stepan Shurigan.
And when you look at the shot count, the Spirit leading 22-18. Gavin Betts has been absolutely phenomenal in his return to the lineup for the Frontenacs. But how do you get past him at this point when you look at this team? There have been a few moments here and there. We saw Klepov get a really good opportunity. We've seen a few for Kuche, Hanmerhan, Jilkin, but is there any response that the Spirit can have just to get something past him, because he has just been lights out?
Well, it's going to have to be a greasy one. We saw Jacob Kluche kind of sniffing around for a rebound in that second period. That's kind of the way that you're going to have to, if you want to find something positive here in this third period, that's the way to do it. Get just shots and deflections from distance, jam for rebounds. It's going to have to be greasy here in the third period. I don't think there's any question about it. The passing plays just haven't quite fallen Saginaw's way. Gavin Betts has made really 4 or 5 show-stopping saves in this game so far. It could very well be a much closer game. If some pucks bounce a little bit differently, it could probably be 6-6 right now. And I don't think that's too far out of the realm of possibility. Instead, it's 8-0. So if you want to solve the goaltender, the tried and true method, it's much harder to stop what you can't see. The Spirit could maybe do a little bit more, easier said than done, but do more to take away the eyes of the goaltender away for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. One more before we let you go. Just as you're talking about that, you sit there and wonder, Coach Lazary has talked so much about lessons that his young guys can learn throughout the season. There's so many rookies on this team, still such a young team. Really had a great second half so far, but in games like this, especially when you have a few shots that could have maybe gone in, the goaltender's just really on point that night. What lessons can you take away from a game like that? Obviously, you're not going to score 8 goals in the next 20 minutes, but what big lessons can this team take away in this final 20 minutes to come out feeling maybe somewhat good about and have one takeaway from this game?
Well, I think it just comes down to control what you can control in the moment. The situation is what it is right now here for Saginaw, but, if they can come out here and kind of screw their heads back on for this final 20 minutes, they can walk out of here and say, okay, at least we put ourselves back together. And for a team that's got 11, 16, and 17-year-olds, that might not seem important, but it is, because you know what? You don't want a group of guys that throw their hands up and say, all right, well, it's 8-0, this one's done. We'll let things continue to unravel. Because that's not the mindset that wins championships, and that's what this hockey team has identified as the goal and the expectation for the guys that are up and coming on this hockey team. The Hanrahans, the Roscoes, the Harpers, the Papoys, the Jilkins. That's what's kind of the destiny for these guys. So you don't want them to get into the habit of saying, okay, all is lost, let's bail on the third period. Can't do that. You're in for 60 minutes. That's what you signed up for. So do your best here in the final 20 minutes and pull away whatever positives you can. The door's wide open for somebody to step up and kind of be the big boy here.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Dylan. We'll see what happens in these final 20 and if the Spirit can find any sort of response. When we come back, we'll take a look at a few out-of-town scores, some exciting close games going on around the OHL. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today. You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
And you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back into the Storm Master Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with your second intermission report brought to you by Raymond. And we're going to take a look at the out-of-town scores, 5 other games happening around the OHL, and all pretty exciting results as we'll take a look. Oh, and Sound at Kitchener still knotted at 1-1. No one scoring in the second frame. Sarnia up 2-0 against London. Ben Pickle had that second goal for the Sting. Brantford and Sudbury going back and forth. Lemieux made it 2-1 Sudbury, but Vinacker with his second goal of the night tied it back up for Brantford 2-2 as they head into the third and final period. Flint and Windsor again fighting for that top spot in the West. Windsor currently up 2-1 as Ethan Belches took the lead for the Spitfires in the final 2 minutes of the second frame. And lastly, a big game. This could have implications for Saginaw and could be a bit of good news that Saginaw needs right now as Guelph is down 2-1 against Erie. Belorski made it 2-1 for Guelph, but Jackson Schoten got his first OHL goal, and then 2 minutes later, Andrew Kuzma scoring for Erie to make it 3-2. All the scores from the OHL out-of-town scores tonight brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. 20 more minutes to go. The Spirit down 8-0 to the Kingston Frontenacs. We'll get you back to the rink and all the action with Dylan when we come back. You're listening to 100.5 FM WSGW.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh & Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Third period here from Slush Puppy Place, an 8-0 lead for the Kingston Frontenacs. No carryover penalties or power plays for Saginaw. 20 minutes to put things back together and pull something out of this contest. Saginaw wins the opening face-off of the third. Brody Papoy stepped into by Jack Dever, and this one tossed back into the Spirit end. Blake Barnes on it. Back up to the defensive blue line now. Brody Papoy into the offensive zone. Stops up halfway down the wall. Tosses a backhanded pass. Jones to the net, redirected in front by Kluche. Another good save by Gavin Betts. Puck comes back the other direction here for the Frontenacs. Alex McLean stepped up on by Blake Barnes. Gives him an extra shot as well. Barnes picks this one back up in the Spirit end. Tosses a pass on over to Graydon Jones. Carson Harmer tried the one-touch pass to the middle, intercepted by Van Williamson. Toss back into the Spirit end. Barnes, Jones, then up the near side. Papoy again. Slows the puck down, angles it back in behind the Frontenac netminder, and finishes the line change. 55 seconds gone here in the third period. Frontenac stretch things up the right side. Alex Mishiak curls and drags, tries to sweep it on through. And a stick save by Caleb Papineau, who remains in the net here for the third period. Down the right wing, Zhilkin for Matthew Henderson. Back in behind the Kingston goal. This one pulled away. Tomas Pobajal there for the Frontenacs. Fires that one off the back of a leg. Barabanov in the left wing corner here for the Spirit. Trying to turn that one back up to the left point in Harper. This is taken away by Wright. Shouldered heavily there by Levi Harper. Big time collision as he smokes right in front of the Saginaw bench. This is Zhilkin now up the near side. Taken away by Kingston. Henderson will pull things over. And a backhanded pass by Nolan Turnbull. He's intercepted at center by Nikita Klepov. Igor Barabanov from center. Nearly 2 minutes gone here in the third period. Barabanov weaves his way in, takes a check, moves the puck around for Ryan Hanrahan. Out of the right wing corner, Hanrahan sweeps it back up the board. Xander Valeris on his forehand, able to tap that back down the wall. The cutback by Barabanov keeps it alive. Here's Glavin, right wing circle. Turning back from the corner, up high, rotates it back down low. Klepov has to get through Turnbull. Sweeps away. Now to the corner. Pass in front. Here's Hanrahan. The shot wide. Good opportunity from the left circle. Josh Glavin sweeps it back underneath. Xander Valeris. Out of the corner again. Valeris up to the top of the zone. Works and drops things off with Barabanov. Long stretch in the offensive end here for Saginaw. Barabanov. Nice little toe drag to keep things alive with the blue line. It's going to be pushed into the far side wall there by Nolan Snyder. Barabanov drops it off for Josh Glavin. Pushes it back down low into the corner. Ryan Hanrahan has his pocket picked by Turnbull. Frontenacs get it up, and they'll pitchfork things back out to center. And this will be picked up by Alex Kuhlman trying to split the defense. He's poked away there by Xander Valeris. They get wrapped up. Play going to continue as Nikita Klepov steps things back out to neutral ice. 17:09 to go here in the third period. 8-0 Frontenacs as they work things back out from the defensive end. Kuhlman up the near side. This is shouldered after by Saginaw's Barnes. Clark is on it here for the Frontenacs. But he and Adam Kelly were offside. 16:57 to go, period 3. We talked during the second intermission about just putting whatever positives you can here in the third period for Saginaw, down 8-0. Seen a couple of good scoring chances already. Really good save by Gavin Betts on a deflection in front from the second line of Harmer, Popoy, and Kluche. That was one positive. Big-time collision by Levi Harper. Heavy check there. That's another positive. And then that extended zone time for the Barabanov line. As now the fourth line comes out. Sawyer Schmidt. This will be flipped back in by Brody Popoy. He joins Schmidt and Uri Rauja. Again, as the Spirit have dressed 11 forwards and 7 defensemen here tonight. Uri Rauja forces a turnover. Barnes does what he can to keep the puck alive. Frontenacs get it out to center. Rauja turns and tosses this puck back in behind the goal of Gavin Betts, who's made 23 saves in this 8-0 hockey game. Clark, reverse hit there on Uri Rauja. Brody Popoy reaching after the puck. This is snapped back up through center ice. Blake Barnes broke his stick on that of Matthew Frost. So it'll be a slashing penalty to the Spirit defenseman. 16:15 here in period 3. And Barnes, the slashing call, will send Saginaw to their second Stormmaster exterior penalty kill here in this game. Frontenacs cast in on their first man advantage. Tomas Pobajal, the power play goal. Or Kieran Dervin, rather. Harmer, Kluche, Glavin, and Xander Valeris, the penalty killers here for the Spirit. Barnes in the box. Pobajal is on the ice. Lined up on the right wing here for this faceoff. Frontenacs win it back. Williamson over to McLean. Shot gets blocked by Carson Harmer. One hands it back up ahead. Harmer into the offensive zone with Kluche. Short-handed chance from the left circle. Kluche shot over the crossbar. Kicks all the way back out to Xander Valeris at the Spirit blue line. Motors deep into his own end. Now a stretch pass for Kluche. One-on-one against Williamson. Kluche snaps a shot that gets blocked. Kluche after in the corner. Two Frontenacs quickly to him. Kieran Dervin is on things here for the Frontenacs. Kluche retreats back to the Spirit bench for Ryan Hanrahan. Williamson for Dervin. Skate to stick McLean down the right side. Mishiak into the corner. Then the circle. Dervin up to the right point. Williamson slings this one over. Pobajal left circle to the dot, then below the goal line. Back in behind the net now. Dervin here. 1:08 left on the power play. Net mouth scramble. That one fought aside by Papineau and Valeris. Pobajal back up high. Williamson at the point. Near side. Mishiak bumps to the middle. This is picked up by Dervin. Wheeled back up high. Dervin skates back. Now up to the near side. Mishiak looking to go back door from McLean out the other side. Dervin twirls this one back up. Williamson kept it alive. Good pass. McLean now near side. Mishiak right circle looking back door again. Does not connect on the pass looking for Dervin. Off the boards. They lay it now near side. Bump back to the middle again. Mishiak goal line. Pobajal looking in front off the body of Valeris and wide and now spinning back in front. This is Mishiak. Near side. Pobajal one-timer off the outside of the cage. Pobajal stays with it. 30 on the power play. Carson Harmer's been out for this entire penalty kill here for the Spirit. They'll pump this out, and boy, they got jammed up there on the bench. Saginaw trying to make a line change. They all fell backwards, back over the boards. Nearly a too many men on the ice penalty for Saginaw. As here comes Alex Kuhlman, then for Nolan Snyder. This one thrown back in front. Off the outside of the net. Bodie Stewart back in behind the Spirit goal. James Gull fires this out of the zone. And there is a stoppage for a penalty here. Right as Blake Barnes gets out of the box. Frost and Bodie Stewart are skating over to the penalty boxes. They'll both sit down. Frost will pick up a holding call, a holding the stick call. And Bodie Stewart has picked up a high sticking call. Those two minor penalties will offset. And so we'll skate at 4-on-4 here, 14:15 to go in the third. An interesting exchange earlier. We mentioned Carson Harmer played about 90 seconds of that penalty kill. He's finally able to get back to the bench on a change and in trying to avoid the too many men on the ice penalty. Drew Roscoe hopped back onto the Spirit bench and kind of tipped over. We saw his skates up in the air for a moment. 4-on-4, puck in the offensive zone here for the Spirit. 6 minutes gone in the third. It's 8-0 Kingston. Here's Barabanov, though. Drops it back, top of the offensive end. Klepov finds Levi Harper. Back over to Klepov, sweeping it backdoor. That one will be knocked aside by Jack Dever. Dima Zhilkin stays inside the offensive blue line. Zhilkin twists back, looking for Levi Harper. Lays it back down low for him. Put into the wall by Lucas Moore. Zhilkin from the right wing faceoff dot. Stolen again, but gotten back by Levi Harper. Over to the far side. Klepov looking towards the middle. One of the Frontenacs lost the stick. Klepov throws it there. The shot. He scores! Nikita Klepov through the 5-hole of the goaltender Gavin Betts. 13:28 to go in the third period, and it's an 8-1 game. We'll see if Levi Harper picks up an assist on that. There was a lot of movement in the offensive zone for Saginaw. Klepov finally gets the donut off the board for the Spirit. Goals in 5 straight hockey games now for Saginaw's leading goal scorer. At 4-on-4, that one hits the back of the net. And this puck at center ice. We talked about looking for some positives here. There's one. Saginaw's on the board at 8-1. Brody Papoy. Still a minute and 3 seconds left at 4-on-4. And again, still waiting to hear if number 4 for Saginaw has an assist on that Nikita Klepov goal. Henderson is hit by Barnes back in the Kingston zone. Kuhlman off the left side, 3-on-2. The Frontenacs at the line. Wright gets in ahead of things. They'll stay onside. This puck rimmed around back in behind the Spirit net. Well back down and into the Frontenac zone. 38 seconds left at 4-on-4. Frost for the Frontenacs. Bodie Stewart for the Spirit. Offsetting minor penalties. This is Van Williamson. Back up now to Wright. Trying to drop it off at the offensive blue line. Papoy. One more drop back, though, on the steal. But Wright and then Kuhlman intercepts. Blake Barnes puts his man into the boards. And now the Frontenacs regroup again from back and behind the goal. Levi Harper picks up the primary assist. It's the only assist on that goal. Harper's got 37 points in his 45th game here in his rookie season. That ties Zane Parek's record. Polbejal down the right wing. Into the corner. Now to the offensive zone. Polbejal. Stick check there by Rauja on the far side boards. Polbejal looks to the middle. Drew Roscoe pokes after it. Polbejal on the steal. Back in front for Mishek. Going to ring that one off the frame. In behind Papineau. Back and behind it goes again. Rauja. 11:48 to go here in the third. Bodie Stewart got bumped by one of the fronts. It goes back down for an icing and a penalty here. Tripping call coming up to Kingston. Saginaw's going to go to the power play. After a break, 11:43 to go in the third. They're on the board. Harper has tied Parak. The positives coming up here in this third period. We're back to Kingston in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Power play here for the Saginaw Spirit. Their third IBW Local 557 power play in this game. Tripping penalty to the Frontenacs. Carson Harmer to go for this draw against Polbejal. Harmer's going to get waved out here. He's out with Kluche, Klepov, the goal scorer here in an 8-1 hockey game for Saginaw. Barabanov and Jilkin too. And off the draw, it's worked back to Igor Barabanov. Takes the shot, stopped by Betts. As Harmer is cleared from the scene. Mondu's taken the tripping penalty just prior to that break. Nikita Klepov, points in 6 straight games, goals in 5 straight. He is Saginaw's leading power play goal scorer. He and Dima Zhilkin each have 8 power play goals on the season. He and Igor Barabanov lead the team with 20 points on the power play as Jack Devers in shorthanded here. He throws this one through the Spirit goal, creasing out the other side. 8-1, Frontenacs have the lead. 11:24 to go in the third period, but a Spirit power play. There's 20 seconds gone on it, and they're going to say that Barabanov is offside here on a drop pass back. He will disagree, and it's just been that kind of night for the Spirit. That puck seemed to be on the back edge of the line. 11:20 left in regulation, so they'll drop things out of the neutral zone. 1:37 left on the tripping penalty to Van Williamson. Dimas Yilkin is lined up well off this faceoff. The Spirit win it. Barabanov goes to the strong side. Klepov down the right wing. Turns around and tries to dump it off. It was rejected by Matthew Henderson, who sends it back down into the Spirit end. Yilkin, pocket picked by Pobajal. They pop up into the air looking for this puck. It was well up into the atmosphere here at Slush Puppy Place for a moment. Barabanov then to the far side for Kluche. Return pass near side. Yilkin and Harmer break into the offensive end. 1:06 left on this Spirit power play. Yilkin waiting, trying to get through Pobajal. He's toying with him right now. Gets the puck through. Barabanov for Klepov through the seam. Yilkin one-timer gets saved by Betts. Puck up off the glass. And blown down for a hand pass, rather. Kluche going after one of the Frontenacs here. One tap too many. It was Pobajal. Now Clark comes over to grab Jacob Kluche. 10:34 left in regulation. And we'll see what the pushback is. Pobajal is saying, what am I going for? I think they sent Kluche down the tunnel. They are. 10:34 here in the third period. Pobajal goes down the tunnel as well. They are not taking any sort of chances of this game spiraling into anarchy. Jacob Kluche and Tomasz Pobajal are done for the night. 10-minute misconducts coupled with something else. 10:34 left in regulation. And again, in an 8-1 game here in the third period, there is obviously the potential for things to spiral. A little bit left of center. This one picked up by Ryan Hanrahan at center ice. We continue a 5-on-4 power play for the Spirit. Papoy far side back in front looking Bodie Stewart. That one off the corner boards. Hanrahan back down into the corner for Papoy. And it's Harmer, Hanrahan, Harper over. One-time shot there for Stewart. Gets blocked by Henderson. Back to Levi Harper again. He's tied Perek. Now the jam play on the goal line by Papoy. The shot, they score. Bodie Stewart cashes in on a power play goal. It should be Hanrahan and Papoy on the assists. 9:58 left in the third period, and Saginaw's got another power play marker. It's 8-2. So again, in a game like this, looking to take whatever positives you can. The Spirit cash in right on the doorstep on the power play goal. And Bodie Stewart's got his first back in his Spirit uniform. Fourth goal of the season. First goal since December the 6th at Kingston. He makes his return and finds the back of the net again. Now a chance here, alone off the draw, breakaway for Turvin, and it's saved by Papineau. They blew the whistle. The official lost sight of the puck. Carson Harm is going to fire it back at Alex McLean, who put it into the net after the whistle. So things might turn a little bit unfriendly anyway, despite the officials sending players back to the dressing room. Everybody's just in a bit of a standoff right now. Defensive zone face-off here for the Spirit. Levi Harper, Carson Harmer takes this one. Josh Glavin sends it around the boards. Rauja intercepted by McLean. Rauja will get it back and send it out to center. Frontenacs down the left wing. Dervin, who had that breakaway chance right off the draw against Papineau. Spirit will steal and get the puck out to center. 8-2 here. They trail the Frontenacs. They've got the 2 goals, though, in this third period. The only 2. Lucas Moore strides out from behind the Kingston goal. Tomasz Pobajal and Jacob Kluche are done for the night. Ryan Hanrahan picks up the secondary assist on the power play goal. That's his first point back in the lineup again since he scored his first OHL goal back on October the 24th against the Erie Otters. So again, another thing we discussed during intermission. The first intermission, it was only a matter of time before Ryan Hanrahan starts to get rewarded on the score sheet. Get some time on the second power play unit. Great puck work between he and Brody Papoy. Bodie Stewart finishes things off. And they get another rep on the man advantage. Here's a chance in front. Saginaw back into the offensive zone. The Zilkin line is on. Blake Barnes slides it over. Drew Roscoe sails a shot. Stopped by Betts with the glove, and it drops right down. He covers up for a face-off. Barnes is locked up in front with the man Matthew Frost. A little bit more after. Officials come over to break up this scrum. And again, this will be 4 straight losses for the Spirit against the Frontenacs after historically doing quite well against them. 27-11, 3-2 all time for the Spirit against Kingston. This will be their first game not securing at least a point in this building in 6 tries. 4-0-0-1 here in the last 5 visits to Slush Puppy Place, formerly the Leon Center. Frontenacs get things out of the defensive zone. Out to center. Some ado about a collision with Klepov, who's got the puck now and slides a backhanded pass over to James Go. The return pass, here's Klepov again. Attacks the offensive end. Curlin drag. Shot snapped wide. Not by much on the release from Klepov. 28 on the season after his goal to open the third period. Alex Kuhlman into the offensive zone here for the Frontenacs. Alex Mishiak gets turned around. Puck in the near wall, taken by Dima Zilkin. Cuts back, takes the check. Puck is stolen. He gets back up and moves it right back out the center. Flips this over to the far wall for Klepov. It'll be taken instead by Andre Mondu. James Go out the center. Kuhlman turns it to the middle and right. Zilkin closes off his check on Kuhlman. Gives him a couple of extra shots. Kuhlman goes back after him. And as this will be blown down, as the scrum will take both into the penalty box. 7:35 here in the third. Really not too dissimilar to what we saw between Jacob Kluche and Tomasz Pobajal. But Zilkin and Kuhlman will stay in the game. So at 4-on-4, we skate here. Hanrahan, Geldart, Jones, and Blake Barnes after the offsetting minor penalties to Dima Zilkin and Alex Kuhlman. 7:30 to go here in the third period. 8-2 Kingston. Ryan Hanrahan up for Jensen Geldart. Puck is intercepted by Geldart. Stolen right back, though. As Frost will turn things back here onto the stick of Matthew Henderson. Off the end wall back behind Gavin Betts. Back in behind Henderson again. As the penalties announced here inside the Slush Puppy Place. Frontenacs will stride up Matthew Henderson. It's the red line and goes out to the far boards. Frost tries to double back, blew a tire. Blake Barnes is on things here for Saginaw. 2-on-2 as they hit the offensive blue line in with Hanrahan. He fires the puck cross ice for Geldart in the right wing circle. Long pad saved by Betts. The rebound picked up by Ryan Hanrahan. Top of the zone, sweeps it over. Into the corner now for Graydon Jones. Blows a tire. This puck in the high slot. Geldart trying to throw a hit on Matthew Henderson. This will be picked up by Dever into the offensive zone. Cuts across the slot. Takes a shot. That one fought aside by Papineau. And to the far corner board. Jensen Geldart throws the body. Wins the puck battle. Graydon Jones tied up and goes back into the trapezoid behind his goaltender. 43 seconds left at 4-on-4. Jones waits for the fresh-legged Barabanov to step onto the ice here. Barabanov over the offensive blue line. Weaves it far side looking for Klepov on the one-timer. That does not connect. Now a loose puck right in front. Swatted after by Barabanov. Great stop by Betts as he was sprawling. Barabanov and Klepov trying to be opportunistic here. 22 seconds left at 4-on-4. Frontenacs back in behind the net of Betts. Striding back out to center again. Off night tomorrow for Kingston. Travel day for the Spirit as well, as they play their third game in 4 nights on Sunday in Ottawa. 3 p.m. puck drop from TD Place. Frontenacs will be in Oshawa that night, as here's a chance right in front, all alone. Robin Kuzma was shrugged off by Caleb Papineau. Back at 5-on-5 here. After Zhilkin and Kuhlman are released from the penalty boxes, Frontenacs at their own blue line. Stumbling is Nolan Snyder, and it'll be a penalty for tripping. And Snyder looks to come after Nikita Klepov with a whack. Tripping the call. Barabanov to the box. Spirit to the Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill when we come back. 5:15 left, third period. Frontenacs in front. We're back to Kingston in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
So we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
5:15 left in the third period here from Slush Puppy Place. 8-2, the Kingston Frontenacs in front with an opportunity to add to that. Igor Barabanov in the box for tripping. Saginaw to their third Stormmaster Exteriors PK here in this game. Alex Mishiak to the corner. Intercepted by Bodie Stewart. Moved back up to the line, though, and held in by the Frontenacs. Williamson. Give and go with Mishiak. Far side, McLean. Rips it through the seam. Mishiak settles it down up high. Tells Williamson to move over. Mishiak now in the far circle. Center point, McLean takes the shot. That goes into the glass. Williamson down low. Irvin tripped up by Bodie Stewart. Play going to continue here. Love down by Carson Harmer. Harmer's going to try to snap that one out of the zone. Dervin keeps it alive. This puck on the far side wall now. Mishiak. Given back to him by McLean. Williamson, center point, looking towards the net. Finds Mishiak, gives it over. McLean's left wing shot goes high into the glass and all the way back around. Clears the zone here for the Spirit penalty killers. Williamson snapped it up the near side for Mishiak. Dervin down the right wing. Forced to the boards by Xander Valeris. Josh Glavin shoulders McLean. Mishiak tries to go between the wickets on Geldart. Xander Valeris leads the shorthanded counterattack here for the Spirit. Try to put that one in front for Ryan Hanrahan. Pass too far ahead of him. Matthew Frost moves it up. Dervin lost his footing a little bit. He and Valeris both tumble down. Blake Barnes gets this puck out of defensive real estate for the Spirit. Jensen Geldart in on the shorthanded forecheck here. 3:39 left in the third period. 22 seconds left on the Barabanov tripping penalty. Frontenacs up 8-2 in this one. Jack Dever, give and go with Wright. Dever into the right wing corner. Watched by Saginaw's Roscoe. Back up the near sidewall. Henderson sends it across from the left point. This is Frost. Henderson now near side. Right again. Takes the shot. Turned down by Papineau with the right pad. Igor Barabanov is out of the box. The Spirit have killed this one off. Another point shot. Stopped in front on a deflection from Alex Kuhlman. Sawyer Schmidt trying to get a little bit of his money's worth out of Kuhlman here. 3:07 left here in this third period. One more defensive zone face-off here for the Spirit. We'll see exactly who gets thrown out. Fourth line will be recalled to the bench. Sawyer Schmidt. Oh. Pointed back to the dot by his head coach. He'll tell Brody Papoy to get off. Stewart, Rauja, and Schmidt here in the defensive zone against Kuhlman. Off the tie-up, poked back with help from Schmidt and Rauja. And that one gets tied up in the skates of the linesman. Back down it goes. Kuhlman into the corner. Shouldered by James Go. Rauja flips this puck back out to center ice. This is Moore to take a check there from the shoulder of Bodie Stewart. Off the far wall it goes. Frontenacs hold things in. Robin Kuzma had a goal to start out the second period in this game and make it 4-0. That's his pocket picked, and this puck taken by Uri Rauja out at center. Bodie Stewart trying to one-hand that puck in through the sea of Frontenacs. Now Levi Harper, the shot into the right wing circle. That goes high. Frontenacs pick things up. Robin Kuzma can't get it out. Sawyer Schmidt turns it back in behind The net of Gavin Betts. Lucas Moore up to Alex Kuhlman from center. Lays it back in. James Go pressured by Kelly. Bumped it back around. Clark on in here in the Spirit end for Kingston. Flips it back. Frost jammed up by Barabanov. Dima Zhilkin will toss this puck back out to center ice, and the Frontenacs will punch it back in behind Caleb Papineau. Inside 2 minutes left here in this game. 8-1 Kingston. They have put up 14 goals on Saginaw between 2 games. The Spirit have scored 3 against the Frontenacs. 6-1, and now 8-2 tonight. Turnbull back in the Kingston zone. Lays it off the boards for Dima Zhilkin. Lost an edge, though. And the intercept will be foiled. Recovered back at center by Nikita Klepov. Blake Barnes down the right wing boards. Turns it back in behind the Kingston net. Gavin Betts will lay things down for Andre Mondu. Frontenacs will put together their 7th consecutive victory on home ice here. Dima Zhilkin puts it off the glass. Glove down by Mondu. What a night he's had here for Kingston. 134th ranked North American skater on NHL Central Scouting's list. He's had a really strong night here in this game. Final 60 seconds of period 3. As this one pinballs around in between the face-off dots and the Spirit end. Blake Barnes from the far corner as the time will tick down here. Travel day tomorrow for Saginaw. They'll have a little bit of time to put the pieces back together until they got to go play the Ottawa 67s. This puck back in behind the Kingston net now will be covered up by Gavin Betts as it spilled back in front. Down to 32.8 left in this third period. Doesn't get any easier. Ottawa has seen their top spot, however, relinquished to the Brantford Bulldogs. Both teams tied at 67 points on the season. Coming in tonight's game, Ottawa 32 wins, Brantford 30. However, Bulldogs are listed up higher on the standings. Offensive zone face-off won by Saginaw. This one back in behind the Kingston net. 67's not in action tonight. Bulldogs in a 3-3 tie with the Sudbury Wolves. Now a chance. One more back the other direction. As Nolan Snyder wanted to tuck that one around the pad of Caleb Papineau. He gets shut down. Puck at center with 10 left. Kuzma down the left wing. Tries to drive wide on Jones. Put it back in front. Shut down by the stick of Brody Papoy. That's it for this one. So the Spirit put the pieces back together a little bit in the third period. Josh Glavin's going to try to get his money's worth out of Nolan Snyder. But at the end of the day, an 8-2 victory for the Kingston Frontenacs. And a night to forget for Saginaw. We'll send you back to a break into the Stormaster Exterior Studios for our post-game recap. 3 stars of the game, a look ahead, and we'll get set for the next one here. Back in a moment here on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Caravan Facilities Management also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. and your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back into the Storm Master Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with your post-game report. The Kingston Frontenacs 8-2 victory over the Saginaw Spirit, but the Spirit found a bit of life and a few positives in that final 20 minutes. We're going to break it all down, starting off 5 minutes into the period of 4v4 after Bodie Stewart and Matthew Frost each called for high sticking penalties, and the Spirit were able to set up some time in the offensive zone, and it would be Nikita Klepov finding a way past Betts to put the Spirit on the board and extending his scoring streak to 6 games.
Over to the far side, Klepov looking towards the middle. One of the Frontenacs lost the stick. Klepov throws it there. The shot, he scores! Nikita Klepov through the 5-hole of the goaltender, Gavin Betts. 13:28 to go in the third period, and it's an 8-1 game.
Now, Levi Harper was credited with the assist, tying him with Zane Parekh for the record of most points by a rookie defenseman at 37. Huge goal there for Levi Harper. He was able to get the point to tie him up with Parekh, and also Klepov becoming the second OHL skater to score 60 points this season with his goal. Now, not too long after the Spirit getting a chance on a power play, not too soon into the power play, Cloutier and Probajal both called with game misconducts, but still a 5v4, and it would be Bodie Stewart in front of the net just to sneak it past Betts and score his first goal back in a Spirit sweater.
Now the jam play on the goal line by Popoy. The shot, they score. Bodie Stewart cashes in on a power play goal. It should be Hanrahan and Popoy on the assists. 9:58 left in the third period, and Saginaw's got another power play marker. It's 8-2.
Tensions rose throughout the rest of the period. There were 9 total penalties in the final 20 minutes. Cloutier and Probajal handed game misconducts. They left the game with those penalties. But in the end, Kingston taking an 8-2 win, and a huge part of that, Gavin Betts, what a game he had back in the lineup. And we'll look at the save of the night brought to you by My Michigan Health. Betts with an incredible spin move save on Klepov early in the second to keep the Spirit off the board.
Klepov back for Zilkin. Right circle. It's the late man over to the far side. James go back in front for Klepov. He double hit it, turned around. What a save there by Betts as he spun over his left shoulder to whack it back out with the shoulder and the elbow.
Now taking a look at the full scoring summary of this game. Kingston hot and heavy, starting off Kieran Dervin with his 10th goal of the season on the power play 6 minutes in. And then just a minute later, Nolan Snyder with the goal, and Snyder would have another one again about 4 minutes later. That would do it in the first. Kingston up 3-0 in the second period. It was all the Frontenacs, starting with Kuzma and Frost. They would score just 30 seconds apart. Snyder also picking up assists as he continued his multi-point night. Few moments later, just 4 minutes after Frost's goal, Landon Wright from Probajal scoring, and then just a minute later, Jack Dever with another goal for the Frontenacs. And finally, in the second, Alex Kumlin with the 8th goal of the night. Snyder also picking up assists. That would be a 4-point night for Nolan Snyder. Now, the 2 positives coming in the third for the Spirit, Nikita Klepov with his 28th goal. And as we mentioned, Levi Harper tying Zane Parekh for the most points by a rookie defenseman with his 29th assist for his total 37 points of the season. And just 4 minutes after the Klepov goal, Bodie Stewart, his 4th of the season, and his first back in a Spirit sweater after being traded over from Barrie on the power play. A lot of action here. The Spirit, a few positives to end that game, but a few other positives as we take a look at the out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, starting off with the Owen Sound versus the Kitchener Rangers. They were going in tied 1-1 into the third period. 5 goals in the third by the Rangers gave them a 6-2 win over the Owen Sound. Now the Owen Sound just 1 point behind the Spirit in the standings, so that's a positive for Saginaw. going into overtime now, Sarnia and London. Sarnia was up 2-0 going into the final frame, but 2 goals from the London Knights. They are now getting ready to start overtime. We'll have to wait to see the outcome of that one. Still fighting in the middle of the third, Brantford and Sudbury tied up at 3-3. Paquette tied it for Brantford after they were down to Sudbury going into that final frame. Looking ahead, end of game, Flint coming back in a big way to start off the third period. Their game just finishing up as they took down Windsor 4-2, 3 goals in the final period after being down 2-1 going in to that final frame. So a big win for Flint there as they'll take the lead over Windsor in those Western Conference standings. And finally, also going into overtime, a game with a lot on the line for the Spirit. Guelph and Erie looking for that extra point, tied up at 3-3 after Spada tied it for the Storm in the third period. Once again, Guelph and Owen Sound both just a point behind the Spirit. Owen Sound taking the loss, but Guelph looking for that extra point to push past against the Spirit and against Erie tonight. That's going to be all here from the Stormmaster Exteriors studio. I've been Maren Klein. Now we'll head back to the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth with Dylan for the 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Maren. 8-2 in favor of the Frontenacs. So as you might expect, some stars are going to be a little bit heavily favored to their side of things. Gavin Betts, if it does not go into the books as a Gavin Betts performance in the first period, things might look a lot different. He kept Kingston up 3-0 in that first period of play. Ends up having the shutout bid spoiled, but some 10-bell saves for Betts, 29 stops on 31 shots. He will pick up on the season his 10th victory. Alex Kuhlman, the second star at tonight's game, goal and 2 assists, +4 in the hockey game. Nolan Snyder had the final 2 goals of that first period to really put things into a sour spot for the Spirit. 2 goals, 2 assists, +4 on the night as well. Snyder, your first star of the game. And again, our 3 stars brought to you by Applebee's. The look ahead here for the Spirit brought to you by Applied Innovation. There are 2 parts through this 3-part road trip. They have a travel day tomorrow. They'll be in Ottawa to take on the 67s. 3 o'clock puck drop on Sunday from TD Place. We'll have pregame for you right back here on WSGW starting at 2:45. Then Friday, January the 30th, they are in Sarnia to take on the Sting at 7:05 before coming back home for a nice little homestand. It's been a while since the Spirit have been home. Saturday, January 31st, 7:05 p.m. puck drop against the Barrie Colts. It'll be our First Responders Night presented by Fisher Companies. First Responders game prior to the Spirit game at 4 o'clock. 1 ticket gets you into both hockey games, so come out and celebrate the local heroes here in Saginaw with us as the Spirit return home on January 31st against Barrie. Your Applied Innovation. Look ahead. 8-2 the final score in this game. Spirit right now as it stands, 17-21, 3-4 on the year. Still 41 points, and before the other games go into the books as final, right now they sit in 6th place in the OHL's Western Conference. Thanks to Matt Lester and to Maren Klein back in the WSGW studios. Thanks to all of you for listening tonight. My name's Dylan Clark. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you on Sunday.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.